Chapter 146. Jibei City lived up to its name as the provincial capital. The roads were filled with traffic and were much more congested than Hadong City. Under Tang Jiu's guidance, Su Yun drove Tang Jiu's car all the way to the Tang family's villa. Su Yun was very careful after entering Jibei City. With the power of the Tang family, someone would definitely know the moment Tang Jiu's car appeared in Jibei City. If that was the case, there would definitely be people coming to welcome them. Therefore, Su Yun did not dare to let his guard down. As expected, when the car entered the second ring road, Su Yun felt that something was wrong. Guagua, the smart little girl, also asked, "Dad, are we being followed?" "You noticed it too." Su Yun smiled disapprovingly. "Then what should we do? Should we get out of the car and greet them, or should we just shake them off?" Tang Jiu could not help but look out of the car. Sure enough, there were two black Mitsubishi commercial vehicles following them at a steady pace. Tang Jiu frowned. He did not expect his whereabouts to be monitored so closely. He had just arrived in Jibei City and they were already under control. Such a meticulous person could only be Tang Yifei. "Sister Cho Yun, what do you think?" Guagua turned around and looked at Cho Yun. Cho Yun's face did not show any reaction. Her voice was calm as she said, "Whatever, it doesn't matter." Tang Jiu concluded, "Shake them off. They must be trying to stop me from attending the Tang family's big gathering today. Those who do not have a reason to be absent from the Tang family's gathering will forever lose their qualifications to be the successor of the Tang family. This is a rule that has been passed down for generations. No one is an exception." Su Yun smiled. "Then sit tight. Let's go." As soon as he finished speaking, Cho Yun hugged Guagua. Following that, a strong push came from the bottom of his butt. Tang Jiu's car shot out like a rocket. How would Tang Jiu know that Su Yun was able to turn the table over 7,000 times? The engine hummed like a monster, scaring her so much that she hurriedly grabbed the seat. In the rearview mirror, the two black Mitsubishi were instantly left far behind. In less than 10 seconds, they could no longer be seen. The two Mitsubishi cars that were tailing them also stepped on the accelerator to catch up. However, although Tang Jiu's Shonku was small, it could easily reach a speed of more than 200 kilometers per hour. On the other hand, the two Mitsubishi cars were full of people. When they reached a speed of more than 180 kilometers per hour, it was difficult for them to go any further. Seeing that Su Yun had easily gotten rid of the two cars that were following him, Guagua was so excited that her whole body started to sway. Seeing that the car had traveled a few kilometers, Su Yun smiled bitterly in his heart. He said calmly, "Don't be happy too early. The road ahead doesn't look like it's blocked by the government, right?" After Su Yun said that, Tang Jiu also became nervous. Less than a mile ahead, a row of various cars blocked the entire intersection. Just as Su Yun slowed down the car, the two black Mitsubishi cars finally caught up. They moved side by side and completely blocked the road. "Your Tang family is too warm. I can't stand such a warm welcome." Su Yun smiled and slowed down the car. Finally, he stopped 5 meters in front of the row of cars that blocked the road. The two Mitsubishi cars behind him also stopped. In order to prevent Su Yun from escaping, they crossed their cars and left no space for him. Some of the cars on the left side of the road didn't dare to look at them. They knew that the people who dared to do such a thing were definitely not ordinary people, so they all sped up and left. The cars on the same side of the road were also forced to stop by the people in the two black cars. They all carefully backed away. It was obvious that these people were very intimidating. After Su Yun stopped the car, Tang Jiu was the first to open the door and come out. She recognized the leader at a glance. "Xiongzi, what is the meaning of this?" Tang Jiu said coldly after getting out of the car. The leader of the other party was a young man in gray sportswear. He had short hair and looked very energetic. Although his face wasn't very fair, it wasn't dark either. He had a stud in his ear, a nose ring, and a pair of triangular eyes. No matter how you looked at him, he didn't look like a good person. He was a typical bad guy. "Oh, I thought that Miss Jo's car was stolen. It turns out that you are also in the car." The person called Xiongzi laughed and said, Miss Zhou, I'm so sorry. Since you are in the car, let me send you back. Tang Zhou's cold gaze landed on Xiongzi's head. My second brother asked you to come, right? Xiongzi, you better know who has the final say in the Tang family in the future. Get out of my way right now. Xiongzi wasn't moved. He smiled and said to Tang Zhou, Miss Zhou, it was indeed my second brother who asked me to come and pick you up. However, he told me that it's fine if you are the only one who can dirty the floor of the Tang family. It seems that Miss Zhou isn't the only one in the car. Therefore, as your subordinate, I can only offend you. Su Yun opened the door and got out of the car. Looking at the dozen people blocking the road, he said indifferently, A good dog doesn't block the road. Tang Zhou, your family's dog is too poorly trained, isn't it? They don't even know the most basic rules? If it were me, I would drag them all out and eat hot pot directly. Seeing Su Yun get out of the car, the people behind Xiongzi quickly surrounded him. It was obvious that they wanted to eat Su Yun alive. They didn't look friendly at all. They must have received some orders. Kid, seeing that you are Miss Zhou's friend, I will give you a way out. Kneel on the ground and call me Master Xiong 3 times. Then, I will spare you. Xiongzi's confidence was inflated. He wasn't afraid of the other party at all. Tang Zhou said coldly, Xiongzi, I advise you not to look for trouble. Get out of here immediately. Seeing that you have worked hard for the Tang family for so many years, no matter who sent you here today, I will let bygones be bygones. Xiongzi chuckled, Miss Zhou, I'm really sorry, but I really can't listen to you on this matter today. If you bring back a strong master, then we can rest assured. But you brought back such a coward. Do you think the Tang family will still have a say in the future? Tang Zhou's expression changed. What do you mean? Xiongzi, you better not forget who is the head of the Tang family now. Miss Zhou, of course I know who is the head of the Tang family now. However, after tonight, that might not be the case anymore. Xiongzi said calmly. It was as if the servants of the Tang family had already seen through the situation. I advise you to find a place to retire as soon as possible. Tang Zhou clenched her fists tightly. Her face was filled with anger. Su Yun knew why Tang Zhou sent him here. If he didn't stand up at this time, then what was the use of him coming here? Is there a servant who speaks like that? Do you know who you are? Miss Zhou gave you face, didn't she? Get out. Su Yun stepped forward and stood in front of Tang Zhou. Who do you think you are? Xiongzi glanced at Su Yun in disdain. He ordered his subordinates, tie him up. The 3 men behind Xiongzi quickly stepped forward. However, before they could do anything, they were knocked down to the ground by Su Yun's big mouth. Su Yun's move shocked Xiongzi and his men. He was surrounded and yet he was still so arrogant. It seemed that the person who could win Miss Zhou's heart must have some skills. Su Yun sneered. Do you think you are worthy of being called a master? You don't have the right to speak in Jibei City. Get out. Xiongzi was stunned by Su Yun's imposing manner. However, he was still a master who had been through a lot. After the initial shock, he recovered quickly. He shouted angrily, Brothers, let's F*CK this guy. Immediately, the men behind Xiongzi quickly got into position. They definitely wanted to chop Su Yun into pieces. One of the men took out a 5-shot rifle from the car and handed it to Xiongzi. Xiongzi didn't hesitate. He took the rifle and stepped forward. Without saying anything, he pointed the rifle at Su Yun's chin and scolded, F*CK. The person who dares to be arrogant with me hasn't been born yet. Don't pretend in front of me. Do you believe that I won't kill you with 1 shot? Su Yun lowered his head and looked at the 5-shot rifle that was rarely seen on the black market. He smiled faintly and grabbed the barrel with 1 hand. He said to Xiongzi, You are more professional when it comes to scaring me. The safety is not on yet. Even if you point it at my head, it will be useless. Xiongzi was shocked. Normally, people wouldn't have the courage to check if the safety was on or not. They would have been scared out of their wits. He had used this gun to scare many people. Basically, the moment he took it out, the other party's legs would turn to jelly. No one had the time to think about the safety. Without mentioning anything else, Su Yun's courage was enough to shock Xiongzi. No matter what, the man that Miss Zhou took a fancy to did have some skills. However, the second young master had already given him a death order. No matter what, he had to stop Miss Zhou today. He definitely couldn't let her bring this man to the Tang family's meeting. If he did this well, he would be greatly rewarded. If he didn't do it well, he would be kicked out. Xiongzi made up his mind. At worst, he would just shoot once. With the Tang family's power in the northern Ji, even if he shot once, it wouldn't matter. As he thought about it, Xiongzi had already put the gun away. With a click, he removed the safety and pointed the rifle at Su Yun's chin again. "Do you believe that I won't shoot you to death?" Xiongzi's face darkened and his voice was cold. Su Yun smiled and said disapprovingly, "In the future, before you play with a gun, you must check it. The trajectory of the bullet has been deformed. If you pull it, I can't guarantee that the bullet won't jump out from behind." Xiongzi's pupils suddenly dilated, and his jaw dropped. He looked at the deformed gun barrel in surprise. The 5 fingerprints on it were very obvious. It was obviously caused by the other party's grab just now. What kind of strange strength was this? Tang Zhou felt gratified. This was why she had to have Su Yun. Only Su Yun could ignore these threats and threats. Xiongzi was paralyzed. This was the first time in his life that he had admitted defeat without actually making a move. Originally, Tang Yifei wanted him to show the other party his power and let him know that the Tang family's power was not to be trifled with. He didn't expect that the other party would directly show him his power. Chapter 147. Xiongzi was stunned for a long time. He couldn't say anything in the end. He was terrified. He was completely terrified. Tang Zhou sneered and said to Xiongzi, "I'll say it one last time. Get lost. Xiongzi, if you don't listen to me, don't blame me for being rude. I've already given you a chance. Know your place." Xiongzi clenched his teeth, his heart itching with hatred. If he couldn't settle this matter, he wouldn't even have the face to go back and see Tang Yifei. If he didn't settle this matter, Tang Yifei would definitely deal with him. Suddenly, Xiongzi's expression changed. He said in a low voice, "Miss Zhou, I'm sorry." As soon as he said that, he moved forward to grab her. Tang Zhou was stunned. She didn't expect Xiongzi to be so bold as to attack her. After all, Su Yun was beside him. He wouldn't let Xiongzi succeed. Just as Xiongzi was about to succeed, Su Yun kicked him. Xiongzi felt a gust of cold wind on his face. It squeezed his mouth and nose until they were crooked. Then, he felt an intense pain. It was a heart-wrenching pain. Xiongzi felt all his teeth being pulled out by a huge force. Everyone watched as Xiongzi fell to the ground. His head hit the ground hard, and blood flowed out of his mouth and nose. Su Yun twisted his neck and said provocatively to the crowd, "If anyone wants to die, say it. Do you know who Miss Zhou is? How dare you kidnap her? Go back and think about who's in charge of the Tang family. Without a leader, how could the small fries have any ideas?" Tang Zhou's gaze swept across the crowd. "I'll say it one last time. I can pretend that nothing happened today. If anyone still refuses to come to their senses, try stopping me." After all, these people were all part of the Tang family. Tang Zhou's words were still very intimidating. The people who were standing in a row immediately moved aside. Su Yun could not be bothered to ask them to make way for the car. He strode forward and pushed the car in the middle of the road to the left with his arms wide open. Then, he pushed the car on the right to the right. The row of cars in the middle of the road was squeezed into a pile. Everyone's jaws dropped. There was now a space in the middle of the road. Tang Zhou sat in the driver's seat without a word. She was more familiar with the roads below, so she might as well drive herself. Su Yun got into the car under everyone's astonished gazes and left. "Daddy is so handsome," Guagua said excitedly, then looked at Tang Zhou. Sister Little Jiao, are those the people who betrayed your family? You can't use these kinds of people anymore. They are not loyal at all. Guagua had a deep understanding of this point. After Feng Qiansui fell, the only one who was still loyal to the Feng family was Chou Yun. There were also people who stabbed her in the back. When I have time, I'll teach them a lesson. Tang Jiu's expression was extremely ugly. From the looks of it, her father, Tang Zhengtian, was already a mere figurehead. If she didn't rush back tonight, the Tang family would probably change hands. Seeing Tang Jiu drive away, Xiongzi covered his mouth and crawled up from the ground. Su Yun's kick just now had caused his chin to be crooked. Brother Xiongzi, Miss Jiu is gone. How are we going to explain to second young master? One of the underlings stepped forward and asked. Xiongzi's face was in pain and he was in a sorry state. Now that this matter was brought up, he felt even more pressure. His temper flared up and he kicked the underling fiercely. His mouth was muffled. What's the use of asking me? Hurry up and call second young master. At this moment, Tang Jingtian was sitting on the mahogany chair in the villa. Every year, the 1st of October was the largest family gathering of the Tang family. As long as one was a member of the Tang family, they had to be present on this day. As the third-generation head of the Tang family, he naturally had to guard Mount Tai. Uncle Tang, I wonder if Sister Jiu will come back today? Tang Yifei walked to Tang Zhengtian's side and said faintly, This is the Tang family gathering. I think you should give her a call to urge her to come back. Tang Zhengtian smiled and shook his head. Although little Jiu has been naughty since she was young, she has never missed a family gathering. I believe she won't miss this time either. You don't have to worry about this. Tang Yifei smiled. Tang Long, who was following behind him, said, Uncle Tang, I think you should listen to my second brother. The past is the past, but it's different now. Sister Jiu has found a boyfriend outside. Perhaps she won't be as obedient as before. Tang Long was the eldest in the 4th generation of the Tang family. However, he was far inferior to Tang Yifei in all aspects. Over the years, Tang Long was used to following behind Tang Yifei. He even had to consider if he would offend Tang Yifei when he spoke. Over time, Tang Long became Tang Yifei's follower. Although no one in the Tang family dared to say this, even Tang Yifei himself wouldn't say it. However, it was something that everyone knew. In this family gathering, Tang Long wouldn't participate in the division of the Tang family. He had already made his position clear to Tang Yifei. He would support him to be the 4th-generation head of the Tang family. He only hoped that after Tang Yifei sat in that position, his position in the Tang family would be higher. Tang Yifei naturally liked this brother who didn't have any ambition. After a long time, he didn't treat him as an outsider and told him his plans. Tang Yifei was prepared to be a one-man show tonight. Tang Jingtian was still unmoved. How could he not know what these two juniors were thinking? If there really is a man who can subdue little Jiu, then as her father, I can rest assured. If that man can control little Jiu and not let her go back to the Tang family gathering, then I can rest assured. Uncle Tang, you can't say that. Even if little Jiu is a girl who will be married off in the future, she is still a descendant of the Tang family. How can she ignore the rules set by the ancestors? Tang Long said, those who don't show up at the family gathering on October 1st will be expelled from the Tang family. Tang Yifei sneered in his heart and secretly gave Tang Long a look. Well said, well said. He just wanted to know how Tang Zhengtian would excuse Tang Jiu after hearing this. As long as Tang Jiu was expelled from the Tang family, then the Tang family would have to be arranged according to age. Tang Long was already a dog by his side. He wasn't worried that this dog would steal his position. The next thing to do was to control everyone who wanted to divide the Tang family. Tang Jingtian smiled slightly. Yes, if little Jiu doesn't come back, then the Tang family doesn't have a girl like her. I can't keep my daughter when she grows up. In the future, as her brothers, you have to help me discipline her more. Uncle Tang, it's all my fault as a useless brother. I didn't have the ability to bring little Jiu back when I saw her. Tang Yifei pretended to be merciful. If I could bring little Jiao back that day, today's incident wouldn't have happened. Tang Zhengtian was stunned. What incident today? Hee, it's too early for you to say. Little Jiao might still come back. A man who can control her hasn't been born yet. Tang Yifei gritted his teeth and cursed in his heart. However, he still maintained a smile on his face. Yes, little Jiao might come back soon. After saying this, Tang Yifei turned his head and his expression changed. He thought to himself, "Old fart, let's see if you can still be so stubborn later." At the same time, Tang Yifei was panicking because Tang Jiao's car had already appeared in Jibei City. Although he immediately arranged for people to chase after it, Tang Yifei didn't dare to brag before he had concrete information and was 100% sure. Finally, just as Tang Yifei was feeling uneasy, Xiongzi called him. He was secretly delighted. He quickly walked out of the Tang Villa's living room and quickly went to the courtyard to pick up the phone. "Speak." On the phone, Xiongzi said with a stomach full of grievances, "Second young master, we couldn't stop little Jiao." Tang Yifei's expression changed. He said with a sinister voice, "Trash. Even little Jiao couldn't stop her. What else can you do?" "Humph. Xiongzi, did little Jiao give you some benefits? I think you want to betray me, right?" "No." Xiongzi panicked when he heard this. "Second young master, listen to me. If it was just little Jiao, we definitely wouldn't have let her go. The person little Jiao brought with her is a master. I'm no match for him at all. He can crush my gun with one hand." Tang Yifei was shocked. It seemed that Tang Jiao brought the guy from that night. Could it be that little Jiao really took care of such a troublesome person? "Humph." Tang Yifei sneered. "Even if you brought that wild man back, I have a way to make sure you don't return." The Tang family was so big. It wasn't a place where an outsider like you could stir up trouble. Since Xiongzi couldn't stop her, he could only find another master. Wasn't it just a master? It wasn't like the Tang family couldn't afford it. After hanging up the phone with Xiongzi, Tang Yifei immediately dialed a number. His voice was slightly respectful. "Azura, I have something to trouble you with." With Suyun's help, Tang Jiao got rid of Xiongzi and the others' pursuit and went straight to her own villa. She looked at the time. It was enough to make it in time for the family gathering. However, she still sped up because she didn't know if there was anyone else who would cause trouble for her. If she couldn't make it in time for the family gathering, everything would be in vain. Suyun could see that Tang Jiao was nervous. He said calmly, "Is it true that as long as I stand in front of everyone in the Tang family today, I can legitimately help you get the right to inherit the Tang family?" "That depends on your performance. If it was that simple, I wouldn't have begged you to come. There are plenty of people in Jibei City who can be used." Tang Jiao said, "Suyun, you should know that the Tang family doesn't lack masters. Those people just now were just underlings. They won't just use those dregs to deal with you. This is just the beginning." Suyun smiled. "Oh, is that so? Heh, then I really have to be prepared. Fortunately, I brought a master with me." Chapter 148. At the entrance of the Tang Villa, there were all kinds of luxury cars parked. Even 1,000,000 or so was barely noticeable, which definitely highlighted the power and wealth of the Tang family. Two young men were holding cigarettes in their hands, with cynical smiles on their faces. One of them said, "If ninth sister didn't come today, I'm afraid we would have to listen to second brother's one-man show." The other person also smiled disdainfully. Of course, second brother wants to monopolize the Tang family, and brother Long supports him. "I'm afraid we don't have the ability to split the Tang family tonight. My father and your father don't even dare to breathe loudly in front of Uncle Tang. Counting on them to speak, there's no way. Old Six, you've always been a playboy. Why can't you do it when it comes to this? Your fifth brother is still counting on you to speak first." The first young man said. These two people were the fourth generation of the Tang family, Tang Kun and Tang Wanxin. They were the two biggest playboys of the Tang family. Every day, their minds were filled with beautiful women or sports cars. Their favorite thing to do was to get drunk in nightclubs. Anyway, with the Tang family as their backing, they didn't have to worry about their money. Fifth brother, don't play with me. You want to fight with second brother? I don't want to die so early. Do you know who second brother invited to take the inheritance of the Tang family? Tang Wanxin grinned. If I tell you, you'll be scared to death. Where is the master? Tang Kun frowned. Usually, second brother Tang Yifei didn't like him, so he had never heard of him. Tang Wanxin raised his eyebrows. Ghostface Azura. Tang Kun's back broke out in cold sweat. Ghostface Azura. He didn't expect second brother to spend so much. Ghostface Azura wasn't someone who could be invited by anyone. He was definitely a big shot in the underground world. Not to mention inviting him, it was probably difficult for ordinary people to see him. Old Six, you're not lying to me, right? Tang Kun frowned. This matter had to be clarified. If Tang Yifei really invited such a big shot, then he wouldn't mention anything about the Tang family splitting today. After all, if they couldn't split, they could still stay in the Tang family as a parasite. If they split their heads, it would be troublesome. Tang Wanxin chuckled. Fifth brother, although I'm usually not serious, when have I ever joked about this kind of thing? Even if you gave me a few more guts, I wouldn't dare to joke around with the Ghostface Azura. Tang Kun nodded, thinking that this kid was right. He definitely wouldn't have the guts to make such a joke. Tang Kun's legs trembled when he thought about how his second brother had even invited such a dangerous person like the Ghostface Azura. It seemed like his third brother and the others were definitely going to be in trouble tonight. His second brother would definitely make an example out of them. When that time came, he could only wait to watch a good show. What if ninth sister comes back? The corner of Tang Wanxin's mouth suddenly raised into a smirk. Then I'm afraid that second brother's one-man show won't be easy to perform. Hee hee, I really hope that ninth sister will come back. Tang Kun snorted. If ninth sister comes back, do you think you can still be as comfortable as before? Humph, if there really comes a day when we don't get a single cent, it'll be too late to cry. I'd rather second brother be in charge. That way, I can be a parasite with peace of mind. Tang Wanxin laughed and nodded in agreement. That's true. Then it's better if ninth sister doesn't come back. She can just stay in that small city with that wild man. Everyone can live comfortably. You believe what second brother says? Tang Kun said. He said that he saw ninth sister with a wild man in Hadong City. Maybe he made it up himself. Don't you know what kind of person second brother is? As long as he wants to, he can turn white into black and black into white. Ninth sister is so domineering. How can she be interested in a man in a small city like Hadong City? What kind of joke is this? If that's really the case, I'd even dare to marry those green tea ** cheese. The two of them were talking loudly outside the Tang family's villa when Tang Jiu's Volkswagen came directly from afar. Tang Wanxin and Tang Kun were both dumbfounded. Of course, they knew whose car it was. With the Tang family's strong influence, even they drove big cars like Porsche Cayenne or imported Grand Cherokees. The only person in the Tang family who could keep such a low profile was Tang Jiu. Speak of the devil. Tang Wanxin muttered, this is really strange. Fifth brother, ninth sister really came back. Tang Kun snorted with a smile. There's going to be a good show tonight. Second brother probably didn't expect ninth sister to come back in time, right? Tang Wanxin nodded. He had good eyesight and had already seen the situation in the car. Fifth brother, not only that, ninth sister really brought a man back. Tonight's show is really big. Ninth sister really brought a man from a small city. Hee hee, are you really going to marry that green tea *TCH and bring her back to the Tang family? The corner of Tang Kun's mouth twitched. Marry my ass. Tang Jiu got out of the car quickly. Su Yun followed closely behind. Cho Yun and Guagua were the last to get out of the car. Guagua exclaimed as soon as she got out of the car. The Tang family was really extraordinary. Not to mention how big the villa was, the number of cars parked outside the yard was already a lot. Cars that were worth millions of yuan couldn't be seen here at all. They were like street goods. There were several Kyans parked in front of them. Sister Little Nine, your family is really rich. Guagua said, why don't you change to a bigger car? I'm not comfortable sitting in the back. Tang Jiu smiled, I'll change it tomorrow. When Tang Kun and Tang Wanxin saw Tang Jiu get out of the car, they immediately walked over. Tang Wanxin looked at Chou Yun with a casual expression. This girl was really hot. He had a lot of feelings just looking at her. If it weren't for Tang Jiu's presence, he would have already flirted with her. This kind of high-quality cabbage, any male animal would definitely want to touch it. Ninth sister, where have you been all this time? You're making your fifth brother anxious. Tang Kun walked up and said, you don't know how worried everyone was, especially when second brother came back last time. He said that you were in Hadong City and… Tang Kun paused and looked at Su Yun, puzzled. Ninth sister, the man second brother was talking about, could it be him? Tang Wanxin's gaze also moved from Chou Yun to Su Yun. He immediately laughed disdainfully and said to Tang Jiu, Ninth sister, when did your taste become so heavy? Tang Kun and Tang Wanxin being so disdainful of Su Yun was indeed a normal action. After all, Su Yun didn't wear a single piece of branded clothing from head to toe. He simply didn't have the slightest bit of connection with a rich family's young master. Just look at Tang Kun and Tang Wanxin. They were either wearing Armani or Dior, and their watches were luxury goods like Vacheron Constantin. Su Yun, on the other hand, was wearing ordinary clothes. Guagua shook her head helplessly. Fortunately, her father didn't wear underwear and slippers. If he did, he would be looked down upon even more. Fortunately, the weather was getting colder. Otherwise, Su Yun would have come in those clothes, and that would have been embarrassing. Fifth brother, sixth brother, why haven't you gone in yet? Today isn't a day where you can just go to sleep. Tang Jiu spoke to the two without any respect. I heard that there will be a good show today. Is it against the Tang family? Which part of the Tang family's business do you want? Fifth brother, what do you want? Tell us first. Tang Kun smiled awkwardly. Ninth sister, what are you saying? We're a family. Let's go in. Uncle Tang has been waiting for you. Ninth sister, you can go in, but these people? Tang Wanxin blocked in front of Su Yun and Chou Yun. They don't seem to be from the Tang family. You should know the rules of the Tang family. Outsiders can't go in. Tang Jiu snorted. I forgot to introduce you. This is Su Yun. He is my boyfriend. I think second brother should have told you about him. I can probably guess how he described him. Sixth brother, don't blame me for not reminding you. My boyfriend has a bad temper. If you really want to stop him, you should consider your own strength. Tang Wanxin's expression changed. Although he was angry, he didn't dare to say anything. Ninth sister, I am your brother. You are not giving me face by threatening me in front of outsiders. Outsiders? Tang Jiu sneered, if my own man is an outsider, then you are even more so. Tang Kun knew that Tang Wanxin wouldn't be able to gain anything if he continued, so he interrupted him and said to Tang Jiu, Ninth sister, of course your boyfriend can go in, but what about these two? I am closer to him than you. Guagua snorted. Little ninth sister is my sworn sister, so I am her biological sister. Su Yun is also my father. Don't you think I am closer to him than you? Tang Kun and Tang Wanxin were so shocked that their mouths couldn't close. This guy had a child. This news was like a bolt of lightning to them. Tang Jiu actually found a guy with a child to be her boyfriend. Fifth brother, sixth brother, if you don't make way, then I won't be polite. Su Yun smiled. In the future, we will all be a family. Harmony is the way to go. What do you think? Tang Wanxin snorted and turned to leave. He wanted to see what kind of storm this outsider could cause in the Tang family. Second brother Tang Yifei was already prepared to make sure this kid didn't leave. Tang Jiu also brought Su Yun, Chou Yun, and Guagua into the courtyard of the Tang family's villa. There were many people standing in the courtyard. There were Tang Jiu's uncles, aunts, brothers, sisters-in-law, siblings, and people who had already received permission to enter the Tang family's courtyard. In short, those who could enter the Tang family's courtyard were all people in the Tang family's social circle. Those who could enter the main hall were people who could come into contact with the Tang family's central circle. When everyone saw Tang Jiu appear, they all exclaimed. Everyone present knew that Tang Jiu had been away from home for a few days. After Tang Yifei's exaggerated description, how could Tang Jiu not cause a commotion when she brought a man back? Chapter 149. Tang Jiu did not avoid the gazes of the crowd. She smiled and nodded at the crowd. Then, she introduced him to everyone. My boyfriend, Su Yun. It would have been fine if she didn't introduce him. However, this introduction caused a huge commotion. The whispers grew louder and louder. Some of the voices did not even try to avoid being heard. Su Yun could hear them clearly. Is this the wild man that Tang Yifei was talking about? After the first person pointed it out, the others began to talk about it. This is someone from that small place on the east side of the river? Humph. People from a small city will always be people from a small city. They don't have any temperament. That's right. I don't know what medicine Tang Jiu took to fall in love with someone like this. He's not handsome and he's wearing ordinary clothes. His family doesn't have much money, right? Everyone began to talk. If it wasn't for the fact that Su Yun didn't care, he would have already fallen out with them. Tang Wanxin also walked into the Tang family's courtyard. He said in a voice that was neither loud nor soft, "It doesn't matter if he's from a small city. It doesn't matter if he has no temperament or is not handsome. The most important thing is that he has a child. Humph. A bastard is not fit to enter the Tang family." This sentence was no different from smashing a vat with a boulder. It directly raised the level of the discussion. In an instant, Guagua became the focus of everyone's attention. The word bastard became a new word in everyone's mouth. However, Guagua was very dissatisfied with being called a bastard by these people. Who has such a bad mouth? Guagua was not a pushover. She would not forgive anyone who dared to scold her. Let me tell you, Sister Tang Jiu is this princess' sworn sister. You all better listen carefully. If you dare to secretly speak ill of me, you will end up like this guy. After saying that, Guagua pointed at Tang Wanxin. Tang Wanxin's expression changed. He didn't think that this little bastard would dare to threaten him. Just as Tang Wanxin was about to scold her, a silver light flashed in front of him. He didn't even know what happened. His pants loosened and fell to the ground. Cho Yun moved as fast as lightning. Before anyone could see it clearly, the soft sword in her hand had already cut through Tang Wanxin's belt. The entire process was smooth and smooth. Not only did he give Tang Jiu enough face by not hurting anyone in the Tang family, he also won back some face for Guagua. Tang Wanxin's face had completely fallen to the ground. Everyone snickered, and Tang Wanxin didn't dare to imagine that the woman beside this little girl was actually a hidden expert. Who would have thought that Tang Jiu would be so determined to fight second brother to the end? Tang Jiu smiled as he watched Tang Wanxin run away with his pants up. Everyone, my sister is not to be trifled with. If any of you spout nonsense again, I won't be able to protect you. Little Nine, please go in first. I haven't seen my father for many days. I still have to introduce them to my father before the family meeting. Please take your time. Since Tang Jiu had already said so, what else would the others dare to say? None of them dared to take a step into the hall before 6 o'clock, but the outsider that Tang Jiu had brought back could go in first. Clearly, this person's status was higher than theirs. Think about it carefully. Whoever dares to speak ill of me should be careful. Guagua glared at the people around her. The four of them walked into the inner hall under everyone's respectful gazes. As soon as they entered, they bumped into Tang Yifei. Tang Yifei glared at Su Yun when he saw him. It was definitely the look of an enemy. Tang Long immediately noticed that something was wrong with Tang Yifei. When he saw the people behind Tang Jiu, he immediately understood what was going on. It seemed that Tang Yifei's plan to stop Little Nine from attending the family meeting had been foiled. He quickly put on a smile and said, "Little Nine, you're finally back. We were just talking about you. We were worried sick." "Brother, thank you for your concern," Tang Zhou said indifferently. Tang Zhou said indifferently. She didn't have much prejudice against Tang Long. In terms of contributions, Tang Long was much greater than Tang Wanxin and Tang Kun. At least he wasn't a parasite of the Tang family. Tang Zhengtian, who was sitting at the head of the table, smiled. He knew that Little Nine would definitely come back. Now that he saw Tang Zhou, he was finally relieved. While Tang Zhou and Tang Long were chatting, Tang Zhengtian took a closer look at the kid behind Tang Zhou. He wasn't burly or tall, but his body proportions were perfect. Although his eyes weren't big, they were calm and handsome. There was an indescribable aura in his bones. Tang Jingtian was very surprised. He had seen countless people in his life. Today, when he saw this kid, he was really surprised. He was definitely not an ordinary person. "Little Nine, I didn't expect you to bring this man back and even let him into the Tang family." Tang Yifei interrupted Tang Long, who wanted to continue the small talk. He stepped forward and said, "What day is it today? Where is this place? Can an outsider come in? You should know very well." Tang Zhou sneered at Tang Yifei. She didn't answer his question. Instead, she greeted the uncles who were already seated. Then, she walked straight to her father, Tang Zhengtian. "Dad, can I wait until the family meeting starts before introducing them?" Tang Jingtian nodded and smiled. "Of course." Su Yun smiled politely at Tang Jingtian. At this moment, he could feel the cold gazes of the people sitting in the hall. If looks could kill, Su Yun would have died 17 or 18 times already. Tang Jingtian ordered, "Tang Long, get seats for Little Nine and the guest. Just put them next to me." Tang Long's expression was slightly ugly, but he still followed Tang Zhengtian's instructions in the end. When he was doing all this, he had been secretly looking at Tang Yifei's expression. That guy's face was constantly changing. It seemed that he was extremely angry. After Su Yun sat down, Tang Zhou introduced him one by one in a low voice. Those who were seated were all direct descendants of the Tang family, including Tang Zhou's uncles. As for those who were still standing, there were Tang Zhou's aunts and uncles, as well as their children. Although Tang Jingtian was seriously ill, he didn't show any signs of tiredness as he sat in the seat of honor. His voice was neither loud nor soft as he said, "Is everyone here?" The hall was so quiet that even a pin drop could be heard. Everyone tried their best to keep their breathing as low as possible. There were more than 100 people in the hall, and all of them had some status in the Tang family. Although everyone had their own opinions about this family meeting, their respect for Tang Jingtian was still reflected at this moment. No matter what, Tang Jingtian hadn't stepped down yet. After the hall quieted down, Tang Jingtian smiled faintly and began to speak. "I think everyone here knows what I want to say at this family meeting, right? Uncle Tang, please make it clear." The one who suddenly spoke was Tang Xiaofeng. He was the third in this generation of the Tang family, and he and Tang Yi were both sons of Tang Sangua. This time, their family's main goal was to get a good share of the Tang family. He had long been fed up with the feeling of being below others. Tang Xiaofeng always felt that the Tang family contributed the most to their family, but what they received was never proportional. Tang Sangua sat in front of his two sons. When Tang Xiaofeng spoke, he didn't say anything. He just silently raised his teacup and took a sip of tea. Tang Yi, the fourth son, naturally spoke up for his brother. "Uncle Tang, I think third brother is right. You didn't say it clearly, and we don't understand what you mean. If you don't say it, how can we understand?" Tang Yifei's gaze swept across Tang Xiaofeng and Tang Yi. "Third brother, fourth brother, do you still have Uncle Tang in your eyes? Humph, Uncle Sangua, don't you have the responsibility to discipline the two of them?" Tang Sangua put down his teacup and glanced at Tang Yifei, but he didn't directly speak. His gaze stayed on the teacup as he slowly spoke. "Tang Zhenfeng, your son is quite good. Now he dares to directly question his uncle? Haha, you've taught him well. You've taught him well." The middle-aged man sitting in front of Tang Yifei, Tang Zhenfeng, was also a reputable figure in the third generation of the Tang family. He was Tang Zhengtian's most capable right-hand man. He smiled slightly. "Sangua, you've taught him well. The family meeting hasn't started yet, and your two sons can't hold themselves back. Haha, as their father, you should know best what they want to do, right?" Seeing that the two were about to go head-to-head, the youngest of the third generation of the Tang family, Tang Huazhong, stood up and said, "Brother Feng, Brother Sangua, this isn't the place for you two to bicker. Haha, calm down. If you have anything to say, we can talk about it later. Outsiders will see us as a joke." When the word outsiders was mentioned, almost everyone's gaze turned to Su Yun and the other two sitting beside Tang Zhangfeng. Tang Wanxin gritted his teeth when he saw Guagua. "Uncle Tang, I think you should let ninth sister explain to us." Tang Jinxing, who was less than a month older than Tang Jiu, spoke up. "Our Tang family's ancestors set a rule that outsiders can't participate in the family meeting, even if they're just sitting in. Now that an outsider is sitting in the inner hall, ninth sister should give us an explanation no matter what, right?" Before Tang Zhengtian could speak, Tang Jiu stood up. "Eighth brother is right. I do need to introduce Su Yun to everyone. He's the man that I, Tang Jiu, have chosen, so he's not an outsider. In the future, Su Yun will help me take care of everything in the Tang family. I remember that you guys mentioned last time that my father's health was deteriorating, and he suspected that I couldn't carry the Tang family. He said that I had to find a truly capable person before he could trust me with the Tang family. Now that I've found one, everyone can rest assured. Because of my father's health, many people said that they wanted to split up the Tang family. Indeed, every one of you here has contributed greatly to the Tang family. Without you, the Tang family wouldn't be what it is today. However, you should also think about what the Tang family means to you. Without the Tang family, you definitely wouldn't be where you are today." Tang Jiu's voice grew heavier and heavier. "The Tang family is one family. If you want to leave, you can, but you can't take away a single bit of the Tang family." After Tang Jiu finished speaking, everyone fell silent again. This was Tang Jiu's declaration of war, a declaration of war to those who wanted to split the Tang family. Chapter 150. In the face of Tang Jiu's declaration, the faces of those who wanted to split the Tang family darkened. Among the three generations of the Tang family, Tang Sangua and Tang Huazhong were the first to express their dissatisfaction. Tang Sangua sneered, "Little Jiu, your third uncle has doted on you the most since you were young. No matter what you say, third uncle will listen to you. But today, your words are a little harsh. What do you mean by anyone can leave the Tang family, but they can't take anything away from the Tang family? The Tang family was built by your father and these uncles. Your brothers also contributed a lot. Your third brother and fourth brother put in a lot of effort for the Tang family. Your father saw it clearly." Tang Zhengtian smiled. "Of course, I saw everything that Xiaofeng and Tang Yi did for the Tang family." "Third uncle, you only said half of what you said, right?" Tang Jiu said, "The Tang family clearly saw the third brother and fourth brother's contributions to the Tang family. But what about the conditions that the Tang family provided to the third brother and fourth brother? Not just in Jibei City, but in the whole province, how many people have the conditions that they provided?" "Third uncle, it's not that I'm being harsh, but do you really think that my third brother and fourth brother's contributions to the Tang family are worthy of the conditions that the Tang family provided to them?" "Ninth sister, what do you mean?" Tang Yi frowned and said angrily, "You can talk about your third brother and I, but how can you talk to your third uncle like that? Without the elders, we wouldn't be where we are today." Tang Jiu's smile didn't have the slightest hint of a smile. "Fourth brother, then let me ask you, how much have you contributed to the Tang family? I just let you be in charge of a few entertainment venues. Do you think that without you, the others can't do anything? My annual salary is 500,000 yuan. I can hire anyone and still manage it well. Your 3 luxury cars cost at least 500,000 yuan a year, right?" Tang Yi's face turned white from Tang Jiu's words. "Little Jiu, Do you think that Jibei City is really peaceful? If it wasn't for your fourth brother's face, who knows how much trouble would have happened? You really don't know how to say such sarcastic words. Face. Tang Zhou laughed out loud. Fourth brother, do you really think that your face is that big? Do you really think that driving a Porsche and a Lexus will make you look good? Your face is given by the Tang family. Without the Tang family support, how much do you think your face is worth? Tang Zhou's words shocked everyone in the Tang family. Even Tang Zhengtian didn't expect his daughter to be so aggressive. It seemed that she was really angry. Tang Zhou saw that Tang Yi was silent and continued, Fourth brother, I know why you're here today. You just want to go to those entertainment venues and do it alone. Haha, it's not that I don't want to agree, but if I do, I'm afraid you won't be able to handle it. Ninth sister, since you've made it so clear, then I'll make it clear as well. You can arrange for people to go to those places as you please. If there's someone who can do it, then my surname isn't Tang. Tang Yi was humiliated by Tang Zhou. If he didn't do anything, he wouldn't be able to stay in the Tang family anymore. Don't. Fourth brother. No matter what, you're still a member of the Tang family. Tang Zhou smiled. Since you've said so, then I'll do as you say. You don't have to go to those places anymore. Leave them to me. At this time, Tang Yi suddenly realized that Tang Zhou had quietly taken back his authority. But since he had already said it, it was even more embarrassing to go back on his words. He gritted his teeth and braced himself. Fine. I'll do as you say. He didn't believe that a little girl like Tang Zhou could play better than him. He could stop those places with just a phone call. When the time came, he would wait for Tang Zhou to beg him to take over. Tang Xiaofeng almost scolded him for being an idiot. Fourth brother was really too unprincipled. He originally wanted to separate from the family, but he was actually swayed by Tang Zhousan's words and stood on the opposite side. No wonder father always scolded him. Even as his biological brother, he was somewhat resentful of him for not living up to his expectations. Sister Zhou, you can't take it back just like that. Your fourth brother has always been managing those places. You can't just let it go like that, right? Tang Xiaofeng said. Before Tang Zhou could speak, Tang Yifei said, Third brother, what do you mean by that? Fourth brother is not managing the assets of the Tang family? Why does it sound like those entertainment cities are your family's private assets? Tang Xiaofeng's small eyes shone. He glanced at Tang Yifei and said, Second brother, I didn't say that. I'm just stating the facts. Fourth brother has worked harder than anyone else on those entertainment cities. It's reasonable that he should be the one managing them. From what you're saying, the hotels of the Tang family are managed by you, so those hotels should also be managed by you? Tang Yifei smiled faintly. After today, will you have to manage the accounts by yourself? Tang Xiaofeng wasn't afraid of Tang Yifei's tit for tat. Second brother, I understand what you mean now. The Tang family's financial management and investment company is managed by you. You're saying that you'll get the lion's share, right? Humph, if that's what you think, I won't dare to say anything as your younger brother. You'll have to ask Uncle Tang if he agrees. Tang Jingtian was over 50 years old. He knew his body's condition very well. He couldn't be bothered to get angry at the actions of the younger generation. He said calmly, I know my body's condition. You also know what you mean. But I'll say it again. As long as I'm alive, I won't allow the Tang family to split. As the oldest of the fourth generation, Tang Long hurriedly stood out and said, Third brother, go play somewhere else. Uncle Tang's body is still fine. You're already thinking about splitting. You're too much. Third uncle, if you ask me, blame third brother for what happened today. Brother Long, fourth uncle gave birth to you early and passed away early. When you were young, my father loved you a lot. I didn't expect you to suddenly become second brother's dog. Humph, I really overestimated you. Tang Xiaofeng's mouth was very sarcastic. Tang Wanxin and Tang Kun looked at each other and laughed in their hearts. They didn't expect the show to be so good tonight. The show had just started and the second brother and third brother were already fighting. Although the two of them were the main branch of the Tang family, they basically had no right to speak. It was not their fault. Tang Kun's father and Tang Long's father died in the same car accident, and Tang Wanxin's father became a monk when he was 16 years old. Therefore, the two of them had no one to rely on in the Tang family. They were just parasites for the rest of their lives. Tang Long wasn't angry at Tang Xiaofeng's words. He continued, "Of course I'm grateful to third uncle for taking care of me since I was young. But I'm on the side of reason now. I think second brother's words make sense. The Tang family is a family. We can't split. Since we've already shed all pretense of cordiality, I won't hide it anymore." Tang Xiaofeng, under his father Tang Sangua's gaze, directly exposed the truth. No one wants the Tang family to split up, but now that the Tang family is facing such a problem, Brother Long, you and second brother don't want to split up, and so does second uncle, because you think that second brother can inherit the Tang family without splitting up. Don't deny what I'm saying. That's what you're thinking. Tang Zhenfeng frowned. Xiaofeng, how can you talk like that? Do you really think Uncle Tang and Little Jiu don't exist? With Little Jiu, the Tang family has a legitimate heir. What do you mean by seriously injuring second uncle and your two brothers? Second brother, don't pretend you don't know. Who doesn't know who's who? Tang Sangua smiled. Don't use your seniority to suppress the younger generation. Hee, do you really think Little Jiu can inherit the Tang family? Although there's no rule that a girl can't inherit the Tang family, there's no precedent of a girl inheriting the Tang family. With his father's support, Tang Xiaofeng once again stood in the limelight. Second brother, you've already calculated it in your heart, haven't you? Ninth sister doesn't have the ability to inherit the Tang family, but you can't take it all for yourself. Presumptuous. Tang Yifei angrily rebuked. Third brother, you better be careful with your words. What? Angry? Tang Xiaofeng sneered. Pa. Tang Wanhe, who had been silent all this time, suddenly slapped the table and angrily rebuked the younger generation. Do you still have elders in your eyes? Do you still have Uncle Tang in your eyes? Now it's not your turn to criticize the Tang family. Tang Yifei snorted. Seventh uncle, you didn't say anything in the past, but today you should make your stand clear, right? Second brother, of course my father won't agree to split the family. But he definitely won't support you inheriting the Tang family. Tang Sun smiled. Don't even think about my father. You can do whatever you want, but we must have the right to speak in the Tang family. Tang Yifei scolded in his heart for having no ambition and no longer paid attention to them. He looked at Tang Jingtian. Uncle Tang is still sitting in this position. His words are the sky of the Tang family. Let's not talk nonsense and listen to Uncle Tang. Tang Zhengtian tried to adjust his mentality so that he wouldn't care about the quarrel between the younger generation. If he got angry at this time, it was very likely that his blood would rush up and his life would be in danger at any time. I remember I said that if little Jiu could find a capable helper, I would be assured to hand the Tang family to her. Otherwise, the Tang family wouldn't be handed over to her. Today, little Jiu brought the helper to us. Whether or not he can get everyone's approval depends on his own ability. Su Yun couldn't help but smile bitterly in his heart. Oh my God, you just threw a heavy burden on my head with one sentence. You're too good at taking advantage of others, right? Alas, there's no other way. I have to take it. Who told me to promise Tang Jiu? Since I'm going to be her boyfriend for a few days, I have to do this position well. Otherwise, I'll be letting down that 100 million yuan hotel. Chapter 151. After Su Yun finished speaking, he did not receive any reaction from the Tang family. Everyone looked at Su Yun as if they were looking at a monster. Towards this person who had just arrived at the Tang family, the moment he opened his mouth, it was as if the Tang family already belonged to him. Guagua was very dissatisfied with this, because she was the only one who clapped her hands. Guagua stood up and said, "What do you mean? How can you be so rude? My father is going to take care of you in the future. What kind of attitude is this? When the word father came out, not only the Tang family, but even Tang Jingtian was stunned. This person was going to take care of a child? Tang Wanxin and Tang Kun couldn't help but laugh. Tang Wanxin was the one who wanted to find an opportunity to say this. He didn't expect this little girl to confess without being pressed. Now, he wanted to see how Tang Jiu would deal with this. Su Yun really regretted bringing this troublemaker to Ji Bei. She really knew how to cause trouble. Ha ha ha, Su Yun. What a good name. Tang Sangwa laughed and said to Tang Jingtian, "Brother, my good niece is really something. Not only did she bring back a man, she even brought back a bastard. Does she want the Tang family to change its name? Humph, if that's the case, I won't agree. Since you're willing to let an outsider take over the Tang family's property, then I'll make my stand clear. I don't want much. The place that Xiaofeng and Tang Yi have been taking care of is ours. You can give the rest to whoever you want." Tang Yifei sneered. "Third uncle, you really can't forget about splitting the family? Who said the Tang family was going to be given to an outsider? I'm afraid an outsider like him doesn't have the right to speak here. Ninth sister, it's time for you to explain yourself. I couldn't bring you back from Hadong City because of this man. Everyone knows what kind of person this man is. If you've thought it through, then say what you just said again. It's the same no matter how many times I say it. He's my future man," Tang Jiu said sternly. "Ninth sister, do you think it's appropriate to find a man with a child?" Tang Long, who had always been modest in the Tang family, suddenly shouted. "The Tang family cares about its reputation. I will not allow anyone to smear the Tang family's name." Tang Zhenfeng also said with a black face, "Little Nine, just based on this point, I won't agree to you bringing this man into the Tang family." "Absolutely not." Tang Wanhe and Tang Huazhong, the two uncles, also followed Tang Zhenfeng to express their stance. "None of us have any other opinions on this point. If the young lady of the Tang family finds a wild man with a bastard child, if word gets out, will the Tang family still have a foothold in Ji Bei?" Everyone expressed their opinions with righteous indignation. Tang Yifei sneered in his heart. There was no need for him to say anything. Naturally, there would be others who would reject the man brought by Tang Jiu. However, he knew very well that the man brought by Tang Jiu was not simple, so he asked Ghostface Azura to be prepared. Both generations of the Tang family had expressed their views, and it seemed like they were going to expel Su Yun from the Tang family. Su Yun cleared his throat and said, "Uncles, Tang Jiu might not have made it clear just now, but Guagua is my goddaughter and Tang Jiu's sworn sister. Hey, which one of you doesn't have a few goddaughters? It's not too much for me to have one, right?" This sentence slapped Tang Zhenfeng, Tang Sangwa, and the others in the face. Not to mention goddaughters, they even had godgranddaughters outside. "That's right, Guagua is my sworn sister. In the future, she will be a member of the Tang family." Tang Jiu snorted. "If anyone still says that she's a bastard child, it's the same as calling me a bastard child. Everyone here knows what kind of temper I have. When the time comes, don't blame me for falling out with you." Tang Jingtian smiled faintly and said, "All right, Jiuer, sit down. Your uncles and brothers are saying all this for your own good. Back then, I said that if you could bring back someone who could really help the Tang family, I would be assured to hand the Tang family over to you. Now that you've brought her back, I'm very happy." Tang Zhengtian's words still carried a lot of weight. When he spoke, no one spoke. Everyone listened quietly. "Little Jiu did bring her back, but we still have to test her, right?" Tang Zhenfeng frowned. "The Tang family isn't a small stall. Not just anyone can take over." Tang Jiu smiled and said to Tang Zhenfeng, "Second uncle, I know that in your eyes, no one can be better than my second brother. However, I have to say that Su Yun is the person I'm looking for. He can help me share everything. I believe in him." Tang Yifei gritted his teeth, but it wasn't convenient for him to say anything. "Ninth sister, I don't think so." Tang Long opened his mouth again. "Your second brother's ability is obvious to everyone. However, we haven't seen what this person is capable of. Many people are eyeing the Tang family's business. It's not that easy to snatch it away. That's why I believe in Su Yun, Tang Jiu said firmly. Tang Yifei finally couldn't hold back and said, Uncle Tang, if Ninth Sister wants to give the Tang family to an outsider, I definitely won't agree to this. Tang Zhengtian's smiling expression also sank. Yifei, I'm not dead yet. I have the final say in the Tang family, not you. As long as I'm still in this position, you have no right to speak. Jiu followed my instructions and found someone she believes can be trusted. Then I have the right to give the Tang family to her. Tang Zhengtian's words directly suppressed Tang Yifei's thoughts. Tang Zhenfeng only needed to look at Tang Zhengtian's expression to know that he was determined to push Tang Jiu to his position this time. 4 decades, he didn't dare to disobey Tang Zhengtian's orders. Therefore, he chose to give up this time. The matter of usurping power could only wait until he was terminally ill. However, Tang Yifei couldn't wait any longer. He couldn't understand his father's eyes. He actually stood up angrily. Uncle Tang, I think you want the Tang family to be destroyed in your hands. I think you're confused because of your illness. In the entire Tang family, there was probably no one who dared to speak to Tang Zhengtian like this. Tang Yifei's rebellious behavior completely shocked everyone in the Tang family. Tang Wanqin whispered to Tang Kun, second brother is really going all out this time. I'm afraid we really have to stand on the right side to protect our future. Tang Zhengtian's eyes were like lightning as he stared at Tang Yifei. Although he knew Tang Yifei's ambitions, he didn't expect that he would dare to challenge him. Tang Zhengtian had long thought that if he died, only he would dare to fight with Tang Jiu for the Tang family. He was probably the only one who had this ability. Now it seemed that he was wrong because Tang Yifei couldn't wait for him to die. You're indeed my nephew. Haha, you're also worthy of your father, Tang Zhenfeng's son. Tang Zhengtian said lightly. You're bold and ambitious. Tang Zhenfeng saw that the situation wasn't good and hurriedly said, Brother, the child doesn't know anything. Don't bother with him. I'll deal with him when we get back. Then, Tang Zhenfeng glared at Tang Yifei. Uneducated thing. Tang Long also hurriedly pulled him back and scolded, Second brother, what's wrong with you? Aren't you afraid of being kicked out of the Tang family by Uncle Tang? Tang Yifei knew that he said the wrong thing, but he could only grit his teeth and bear with it. If he didn't get the inheritance rights of the Tang family in his hands today, then Tang Zhengtian might take it back tomorrow. By then, it would be too late. Today, even if he angered Tang Zhengtian to death, he definitely couldn't let Tang Jiu easily take over the Tang family in his hands. Kick me out of the Tang family if you have the ability. Tang Yifei made up his mind. He was going to walk this path to the end. How much of the Tang family's investment was made by me? Kick me out of the Tang family? Humph, I'd like to see who has the ability to take back the money. Tang Long's face revealed an imperceptible smile. He knew that Tang Yifei wouldn't be able to hold back in the end. What he said just now was to remind Tang Zhengtian that for such a rebellious behavior, he must be kicked out of the family. Second brother, do you really think that the Tang family won't turn around without you? Tang Long's face changed. He no longer had the feeling of being submissive to Tang Yifei like before. Even I can easily deal with your rotten debt, let alone Uncle Tang and Sister Jiu. Quickly apologize to Uncle Tang. Tang Yifei saw that Tang Long changed his face faster than flipping a book. He sneered in his heart. Only now did he see Tang Long's face clearly. Tang Long had been willing to stay under him. He was probably waiting for this day, right? That's right. Tang Long had been waiting for this day. Although he was the eldest son of the 4th generation of the Tang family, he had never been able to get what he deserved because he lost his father when he was young. On the other hand, Tang Yifei, who was 1 year younger than him, was regarded as the eldest son and grandson. Tang Yifei's right to speak in everything was greater than his own. It was all because his father, Tang Zhenfeng, was still alive. Ever since Tang Long knew that his eldest son had been taken over, he had been planning. He planned to expel Tang Yifei from the Tang family one day. As long as Tang Yifei was expelled, he still had a chance to fight for everything. Therefore, Tang Long had been secretly encouraging Tang Yifei to usurp the throne for so many years. He wanted to expose him at this moment and consign him to eternal damnation. Tang Zhenfeng had naturally seen through Tang Long's thoughts. He cursed in his heart, "Bastard!" But things had already come to this point. He was the only one who could save his son. Yifei, kneel down. Kneel down and apologize to Uncle Tang. Have you forgotten the rules of the Tang family's ancestors? Father, there is no turning back now. Today I admit my mistake. Tomorrow, even if I can stay in the Tang family, I will have nothing. Tang Yifei hardened his heart. He didn't even listen to his father's words anymore. Tang Sangua sneered. Tang Zhenfeng, this is the good son that you have taught. He wants to usurp the throne openly? What a great ability. Humph, I will also make it clear today. If he dares to mess around, don't blame me for not being polite to him. Xiaofeng. Tang Yi. Today, if your second brother dares to do anything disgraceful, you will take him down for me. Yes. Tang Xiaofeng and Tang Yi said. They had long wanted to find a chance to beat Tang Yifei. Today, God really gave them face. Tang Kun and Tang Wanxin didn't have their father to support them, so they didn't show up. Today's scene was so wonderful that they didn't expect it. Tang Yifei was too impulsive this time. He actually became alone. They should have united to deal with the outsider, but they didn't expect that he would become the target of everyone. Chapter 152. Although Tang Yifei was deserted by everyone, Su Yun didn't see any real panic on his face. If the Tang family was really going to be kicked out of the Tang family and lose their big backer, they definitely wouldn't have this kind of expression. Tang Yifei seemed to be waiting for something. He wanted to give everyone in the Tang family a big surprise. Tang Wanxin secretly tugged on Tang Kun's sleeve again and said in a low voice, "Looks like second brother wants to shed all pretense of cordiality with the whole family. Fifth brother, do you think he wants Ghostface Azura to make a move? Are you kidding me?" Tang Kun's expression changed. "No matter what, we're all part of the Tang family. He wouldn't go so far, would he? He probably invited Ghostface Azura to deal with the outsiders." Tang Wanxin chuckled. "Outsiders? Now second brother is treating all of us as outsiders. The only reason he invited Ghostface Azura is because he's afraid of Uncle Tang's people." Tang Kun frowned. "Uncle Tang's people have already been bribed. Who did you see today?" "Humph, Uncle Tang himself knows that, which is why he didn't even let Sable and Hu Lang attend the family meeting. He even bribed Sable and Hu Lang, so why would he spend so much money to invite Ghostface Azura? Humph. Everyone knows Sima Zhao's intentions. Even if third uncle and third brother and fourth brother didn't split up today, he would still take the Tang family from Uncle Tang and ninth sister. Fifth brother, who said Sable and Hu Lang didn't come? I saw them just now. Tang Wanxin said. Tang Kun was startled. It looked like there was a big conspiracy going on today. He had clearly overheard Tang Yifei and Tang Long's conversation. Tang Zhengtian's two masters had been bribed by Tang Yifei. Now that they were here, they were definitely up to no good. Tang Yifei suddenly looked up to the sky and laughed loudly. He shouted outside the door, "Sable! Hu Lang!" As soon as he finished speaking, two well-built men around the age of 35 walked into the Tang family's main hall one after another. The one in front was of average height, but his bulging muscles made people tremble in fear even through his clothes. The one behind was obviously a head taller than the former, and the veins on his temples were bulging. With one look, one could tell that he was not an ordinary martial artist. Tang Songgua's expression changed. These two men were Tang Zhengtian's right-hand men. The former, Black Martin, could shake the entire northern Ji city with a stomp of his feet, while the latter, Hu Lang, was an expert that was hard to find in the entire northern Ji city. Most importantly, the two of them had followed Tang Zhengtian for at least 10 years and had always been loyal. How could they be used by Tang Yifei? Tang Zhengtian smiled as he looked at the two people who walked in. Everyone in the Tang family was familiar with these two people. The contributions they had made for the Tang family was something that the majority of the Tang family could not compare to. Therefore, Tang Jingtian thought highly of them. Sable Hulang, it's been a while since I've seen you. Tang Jingtian smiled and said, "What's wrong? Do you think I can't hold on any longer? Do you want to turn over a new leaf as soon as possible? Then I have to tell you that you should look carefully when you're looking for a master. Don't choose the wrong place. Otherwise you might be doomed eternally." Sable and Hulang did not dare to look Tang Jingtian in the eye. They had no choice and had their own difficulties. However, betrayal was betrayal. No matter the reason, they had betrayed Tang Jingtian. Tang Jiu's eyes were cold as he glared at Sable and Hulang. "You know very well how my father has always treated the two of you. You entered the Tang family when I was 10 years old. What has the Tang family done to the two of you?" Tang Jingtian waved his hand and said, "Joa, don't say so much. Everyone has their own ambitions. Even your second brother can be disloyal, let alone others. It seems like I'm really getting old." Tang Yifei sneered, "Uncle Tang, as the saying goes, money makes the world go round. However, what the two of them lack now is not money, but a future. They followed you for more than 10 years, but in the end, they're still servants of the Tang family. However, it's different if they follow me. The status I can give them is much higher than what you can give them." Hulang gathered his courage several times before he opened his mouth. "Master Tang, I, Hulang, have let you down. If there's a next life, I'm willing to be an ox or a horse. If you can't be loyal in this life, what next life is there to talk about?" Su Yun smiled and suddenly stood up. "I heard that 12 years ago, 2 people offended the 5 poison walker, Qi Qingzhu, in the northwest and were chased for thousands of miles. After that, there was no news of them. It turns out that they were hiding in Master Tang's house. The kindness of saving one's life should be repaid with a spring. However, who would have thought that those 2 stray dogs would betray their master today and bite the person who saved their lives? Master Tang, if you knew this would happen, would you still take them in?" Su Yun's words made many people confused. At the very least, people of Tang Jiu's generation did not know what Su Yun's words meant. However, Tang Jingtian, Tang Zhenfeng, and the others were quite shocked. Su Yun looked like he was in his early 20s. 12 years ago, he should have been a 10-year-old child like Tang Jiu. How could he know so clearly? Black Martin and Hulang's eyes widened. They could not believe that this young man could talk about something that happened more than 10 years ago. The 2 people who offended the 5 poison walker were the 2 of them. It was not strange that Su Yun knew about this because the 5 poison walker was personally captured by Wang Yi. Therefore, he knew some things. At that time, although Su Yun was only 10 years old, he was already a member of Dragon's Fury. Tang Zhengtian's initial worry disappeared instantly. To know about the incident in the underground world more than 10 years ago could only mean that this young man was extraordinary. He did not expect that his daughter could find such a person. It was completely out of Tang Zhengtian's expectations. Even so, I still chose to keep the 2 of them back then. Tang Jingtian answered Su Yun's question calmly. "It's hard to say if it's fate at first sight. Who asked me to meet them?" Su Yun smiled slightly. "What a good fate at first sight. Elder Tang is indeed worthy of the title of Layman Baiyun. His breadth of mind is indeed incomparable to us juniors." Tang Jingtian finally could not help but laugh. The smile on his face was sincere. He had not heard this title for a long time. "Who the hell are you?" Hulang could no longer hold back his curiosity. He angrily rebuked and looked at Su Yun with a ferocious green light in his eyes. This guy knew too many things. He did not feel safe at all. Black Martin's eyes were cold. He said coldly, "Hulang, don't forget who we are now. Don't tell me you don't remember what the second young master said?" Hulang's expression changed. He did not say anything else and focused on Su Yun. "Today, those who block the second young master will die." Tang Jiu's heart was cold to the extreme. She never thought that the two people who were so respectful to her father in the past would betray him so mercilessly. Ninth sister, then let us see how capable this man you found is. Tang Yifei threw a glance over, indicating for Black Martin and Hu Lang to attack. Chou Yun, who had been standing beside Guagua without any reaction, stood up at the same time. The Long Yuan sword in his hand drew a silver light and blocked in front of Black Martin and Hu Lang. Chou Yun's biting cold-killing intent forced everyone to take a step back. They were afraid that the swords would hurt them. People who have experienced it shouldn't come out and embarrass themselves. Chou Yun's voice was as cold as ice. There was no emotion in it at all. Ever since Black Martin and Hu Lang had followed Tang Jingtian, they had not left the northern meadows. Of course, they did not know about the violent fox-revered master. However, just the Long Yuan sword in Chou Yun's hand was enough to shock them. Even so, Tang Yifei's offer was enough to make them fight with their lives on the line. They listened to Tang Yifei because Tang Yifei gave them the hope of breaking through the bottleneck of a first-rate expert. No expert would want to be stagnant. Black Martin and Hu Lang had not stopped cultivating for 12 years. However, when they reached the peak of a second-rate expert, they were unable to break through. It was at this time that Tang Yifei gave them hope. He did not hesitate to invite Ghostface Azura, who had been famous in the underground world for more than 10 years. He was definitely a first-rate expert. He was at the peak of the first-rate experts. Tang Yifei promised that as long as the two of them helped him take down the Tang family, Ghostface Azura would definitely help them break through their mental state. This temptation was irresistible to the two of them. In addition to Tang Yifei's threat, if they did not obey, they would not be able to help Tang Jingtian fight against Ghostface Azura. After Tang Yifei promised that he would not hurt Tang Jingtian and Tang Jiu, the two of them completely submitted to Tang Yifei. Today, they were here to prevent any unexpected incidents. However, they did not expect the person brought back by Miss Jiu to be so mysterious. First, this young man told them about the terrible things that happened 12 years ago. Then, this woman took out the famous sword, Long Yuan. Before Black Martin and Hu Lang could make a move, Chou Yun made the first move. She used the Great Swallow Double Flight. The flexible sword in her hand moved like a snake, turning into a blur and stabbing towards the two of them at the same time. Her movements were smooth and without any mercy. Black Martin and Hu Lang were shocked. Just by looking at the speed of the sword, they knew that the opponent's cultivation level was much higher than theirs. The two of them used the Tiger Step and 7-Star Step to dodge Chou Yun's sword. They immediately retreated a few meters away, putting some distance between them. Their faces looked very haggard. Can't even withstand a single blow. Su Yun said indifferently, Chou Yun, since Elder Tang has no intention of blaming these two, you should stop. After all, this is a family meeting of the Tang family. Using swords and spears will damage Elder Tang's dignity. Chou Yun withdrew her sword, but her eyes never left the two of them. Her piercing gaze was enough to make Black Martin and Hu Lang think twice about making a move. Chapter 153. Tang Yifei was unconvinced. Seeing Sable and Hu Lang unable to withstand a single blow, he was furious. Tang Zhenfeng suddenly slapped the table and slapped Tang Yifei's face. Bastard! What the hell are you doing? You've lost all my face. Dad. Even so, Tang Yifei was still stubborn. Sable and Hu Lang. You two, take him away. Tang Zhenfeng knew that if the situation continued, the father and son would be in the wrong. Not to mention that Tang Long would play dirty tricks behind their backs. Tang Sangua and his sons were already eyeing them covetously. If they were regarded as public enemies now, they would be in big trouble. No matter what, they had to stop the situation today. It didn't matter if they apologized or made amends later. Black Mink and Hu Lang didn't hesitate either. They directly grabbed Tang Yifei from both sides. Tang Yifei only struggled for a moment before he was finally dragged out of the villa hall by the two. Tang Yifei was taken out of the Tang family villa by Sable and Hu Lang. Other than the cars parked on the street, there was no one else. Sable and Hu Lang suddenly let go of Tang Yifei and lowered their heads. Second young master. Sorry for the offense. Very good. A sinister smile appeared on Tang Yifei's face. This play is not bad. Let them fight. I don't care if I'm the bad guy. I'll let them see if the Tang family's capital chain can still operate without me, Tang Yifei. When the time comes, someone will beg me. Second young master, aren't you afraid of being cursed by doing this? Hu Lang frowned. What if old Master Tang really chases you out of the Tang family? Tang Yifei snorted. He dares. If I can't even figure this out, how would I dare to direct such a show? If Tang Jiu didn't come back today, I would have already succeeded. Since they ruined my plans, I'll let them know that I, Tang Yifei, am not to be trifled with. In fact, Tang Yifei's original plan wasn't like this. If Tang Jiu didn't come back today, he would have forced Tang Jingtian to hand over the Tang family's power to him when Tang Sangua and his sons were arguing about splitting up the family. But he never thought that Xiong Zi, that trash, couldn't even block the road properly and allowed Tang Jiu and that brat surnamed Su to barge in. In this way, he could only stir up a dispute and think of a way to get himself out of it. After all, he was in control of the Tang family's investments. The money was in his hands. If he didn't show up, no one would be able to get the money back. Tang Zhengtian would need him to show up sooner or later. Although what he did today was a little overboard, it was to let Tang Zhengtian know that the Tang family couldn't do without him. He wanted to let him know that the Tang family would fall apart sooner or later if he handed it over to Tang Jiu. That way, the Tang family wouldn't collapse. Since Tang Sangua and his son insisted on splitting up, then he might as well not participate. This troublesome matter would be left to Tang Jiu to deal with. After Tang Jiu dealt with it, the Tang family would still be handed over to him. However, there was one thing that Tang Yifei did not expect today, and that was Tang Long's sudden change in attitude. That guy had always been obedient to him, but today he wanted to hit him when he was down. Humph, he wanted to see if Tang Yifei was not there. Tang Long was nothing in the Tang family. He didn't believe that a fatherless child would be able to compete with him. Were the two of you really unable to beat that woman, or were you just pretending? Tang Yifei frowned. He already had a plan to deal with Su Yun, but he didn't expect that Su Yun would have a master by his side. Hearing this, Sable's face darkened. Second young master, that woman's strength is probably above both of us. What? Tang Yifei suddenly raised his voice. Aren't you two at the peak of second-rate masters? Are you trying to tell me that woman is a F***king first-rate master? Do you think I'll believe that? Sable was scolded so badly that he didn't dare to say another word. Hu Lang clenched his teeth and said, Second young master, we don't dare to believe it either. However, the strength that woman displayed is indeed far above both of us. The internal energy contained in her sword is definitely not something a second-rate master can possess. It's clearly the internal energy of a first-rate master who has opened all the basic meridians in their body. Bull****. Tang Yifei cursed. How can a small Hadong city hire a first-rate master? Am I an idiot? Do you know how much effort it took me to hire Ghostface Azura? Why would a first-rate master be willing to stay in a small place like Hadong City? They don't even care about our Ji-Bei City. Do you understand? Tang Yifei's emotions were clearly due to the unexpected situation, so Sable and Hu Lang didn't dare to speak carelessly. After Tang Yifei's anger subsided, Hu Lang dared to speak again. Second young master, that woman's soft sword is called Dragon Abyss. It's definitely not something an ordinary person can possess. I think it's better to talk to Ghostface Azura about this. Do I need you to teach me? Tang Yifei gritted his teeth. Don't leave. Wait here for my father. I'm afraid that my third uncle will play some dirty tricks. I've already told Ghostface Azura to wait for me at the club. I'll be there right away. You two stay here and keep an eye on him. Yes. The two nodded in unison. In the hall, Tang Zhenfeng's face darkened. He said awkwardly, This is all my fault for not teaching my son well. I'll definitely discipline him when we get back. Tang Zhenfeng, don't just say nice things. Tang Sangua sneered. Among us brothers, you've always been the smartest. We can't even guess what you're thinking. Who knows if you're deliberately putting on an act this time? In the end, it's nothing more than wanting to monopolize the Tang family's property. Third brother, do you still see me as your brother? Tang Zhenfeng said coldly. I only have one goal today, and that is to absolutely not allow you to divide the Tang family. Don't doubt my intentions. Now that Tang Jiu has brought her boyfriend back, and Big Brother has just spoken, I'm only responsible for following orders. Tang Xiaofeng frowned. Second uncle, you're changing your face faster than a game of face changing. Although Jiu brought this person back, she hasn't proven to us that he's really her boyfriend. How do you want me to prove it? Tang Jiu said. Third brother, as long as you say it, I'll prove it to you immediately. Tang Xiaofeng smiled slightly. They grew up together, and he knew Tang Jiu's character very well. It was simply impossible for an ordinary man to get close to her. Tang Jiu's standards were very high. Ever since they were young, Tang Xiaofeng had never seen Tang Jiu act particularly intimately with any man. Tang Yi read what Tang Xiaofeng wanted to express from his expression and said, Jiu, you have to at least prove to us how close you are, right? Otherwise, how can we believe that you really have a relationship with him? Tang Jiu was stunned, and then she smiled. Fourth brother, you really know me well. However, I'm embarrassed to show how close I am to him in front of you, right? Jiu, it's not that I don't trust you, but you're too smart. I'm afraid that all the uncles will be fooled by you. Tang Yi smiled. He finished all the words that Tang Xiaofeng wanted to say. With this, everyone once again looked at Tang Jiu with suspicion. Tang Huazhong, who had always been a man of few words, opened his mouth again. Little Jiu, you wouldn't have spent money to hire someone to trick your eighth uncle, right? Tang Jiu turned around and glanced at Su Yun. She made up her mind and said graciously to everyone, all right, since all the uncles and brothers want to see how affectionate little Jiu and Su Yun are, then little Jiu won't be restrained today. I'll show off my affection to Su Yun in front of everyone. Su Yun was really annoyed when he heard this. He wasn't prepared. How was Tang Jiu going to show off her affection in front of so many people? She couldn't be serious, could she? What the hell, if this was serious, they would have to pay more. No, they couldn't do it even if they had to pay more. No matter what, Su Yun was still a genuine virgin. Not to mention in front of so many people, even if it was in private, he had never done anything too profound between a man and a woman. In front of so many people and without any experience, they would definitely be exposed. However, Tang Jiu didn't care if Su Yun was prepared or not. She walked directly to Su Yun, who was sitting to the left of Tang Zhengtian. Every time she got closer to Su Yun's balls hurt a little. He felt that something was going to happen. As expected, Tang Jiu walked in front of Su Yun and directly sat in Su Yun's arms. Su Yun wasn't prepared at all. His entire back was covered in cold sweat. Oh my God! Guagua exclaimed with her mouth wide open. She rubbed her eyes and pulled Cho Yun. Sister Cho Yun, am I seeing things? What is Sister Little Jiu doing? Isn't she too open? Cho Yun glanced at her. Although her expression didn't change at all, her heart couldn't help but twist. From the beginning to the end, Cho Yen had never thought that there would be a day when she would feel heartache because of the matters between men and women. But now, this feeling really made her feel empty. Even so, Cho Yun wouldn't admit that she had feelings for Su Yun. This was a taboo that she absolutely couldn't touch. Cho Yun tried her best to control her emotions. She didn't believe that there would be a story where she would grow old together with him. Sister Cho Yun, what are you thinking about? Even though Cho Yun's reaction was very subtle, Guagua was still sharp enough to notice it. Nothing, Cho Yun said softly. Her eyes drifted and looked elsewhere. Everyone else in the room had the same gaze as Guagua. They were all staring at Tang Jiu, who was sitting in Su Yun's arms. Tang Jiu was natural and unrestrained. Su Yun and the other old men were quite embarrassed. He lowered his voice and asked in a voice that only the two of them could hear, "Tang Jiu, what are you doing?" "Sit down obediently. You won't be at a disadvantage no matter what I do. Don't you want to take advantage of me?" Tang Jiu had a smile on his face. His lips barely moved. He only replied in a weak voice. Chapter 154. Tang Jiu's lips parted slightly, and a few words floated out from her charming red lips. "Are you ready?" "Ready for what?" Su Yun complained in his heart. "Damn, I'm still a hot-blooded young man in his 20s. How can I withstand Tang Jiu's torment? In terms of looks, Tang Jiu is worthy of the words captivating the birds and alighting the beasts. In terms of temperament, Tang Jiu is definitely a beauty that outshines the moon and puts the flowers to shame. How can she sit on me without any rhyme or reason? Is she looking down on me for not being a man?" Perhaps it was because Tang Jiu had sat down too hastily just now, so she felt uncomfortable. Following her slight movements, her bouncy little but gently twisted a few times between Su Yun's legs. "Damn. Isn't sitting on me already enough? Do you still want to do something else?" Su Yun hurriedly took a deep breath. Wouldn't it be embarrassing if he had a reaction in front of so many people? "Damn, Tang Jiu, I can help you if you want me to, but you have to make it clear that there's something beyond my limits. For example, if you give me 100 yuan and I help you take a bath, then you want to add a full set of services." Fortunately, Su Yun was not someone to be trifled with. No matter what, he was still a super expert. More or less, he still had some self-control. After pressing down on his dantian, Su Yun more or less settled the blood and qi that had rushed to his head. Damn, if it wasn't for the fact that they were in public, Su Yun would have already flipped Tang Jiu over and thrown her into Jingdong. Now, Su Yun could only take deep breaths without making a sound. Deep breaths, and deep breaths, allowing his surging heart to completely calm down. Tang Zhengtian was very surprised to see his daughter taking the initiative. Ever since his daughter's 20th birthday party, he had lost count of the number of people who came to propose marriage. Of course, there was no lack of young talents among them. The only son of the Gu family's mechanical and electrical engineer studied abroad and returned to his hometown at the age of 28. He returned home and took over the family business. Within a year, he doubled the sales of the Gu family's mechanical and electrical products. The young master of the Blue Sky Group had built 2 new modern factories within 3 years, and the production of car parts was booming. In Jibei City, he was definitely a rare and outstanding young man. In addition to these, there were many others. They were all the typical tall, rich, and handsome men who had the ability, the looks, and the family background. Who knew how many girls of the younger generation would fight and scheme against each other, but Tang Jiu didn't take a fancy to any of them. But the heavens knew how to prank people. These rich and handsome men all fell in love with Tang Jiu at first sight. Because of Tang Jiu, those people in the same circle fought fiercely. Some of them used to call each other brothers and had a good relationship with each other, but now, they had become enemies. Tang Jingtian smiled in his heart. He didn't expect that there would finally be a man who could make his daughter take the initiative to give herself to him. It was true that a grown girl couldn't be kept at home. Even the most precious daughter of the Tang family had been conquered by someone. Su Yun. Tang Jiu suddenly opened her mouth. Her voice was crisp and clear like an oriole leaving the valley. "Uncle San Gua and 8th uncle don't believe in our love. Let's prove it to them, okay?" "Okay." Su Yun said it casually, but in his heart, he muttered, "Okay my ass." He didn't even know how Tang Jiu wanted to prove it. This was in front of Guagua and Cho Yun. If he did something out of line, what if Guagua went back and told Ruan Qingshuang? How could he continue living then? Tang Jiu didn't hesitate at all. As soon as Su Yun finished speaking, Tang Jiu directly went over and sealed Su Yun's mouth with her lips that were glowing with lipstick. Su Yun's brain buzzed. He couldn't help but recite in his heart, "Red lips and white teeth, beautiful like a star." Those soft lips were like 2 pieces of ice-cold jelly. Su Yun couldn't help but open his mouth and suck them. This was AF * king human instinct, okay? Su Yun's eyes widened. F * CK, he felt like an arrow on a bow that had to be released. Tang Jiu's heart was still holding a rock in the beginning, but the moment their cold lips touched, her whole body went limp. This kind of electric shock was almost unbearable. In just a moment, the moment Su Yun sucked on her upper lip, her whole body went limp in Su Yun's arms. Her delicate and boneless charm was vividly displayed at this moment. Cho Yun's gaze instantly shifted to the side, while Guagua hurriedly covered her eyes with both hands. However, she could see clearly through the gaps between her fingers. She was still muttering words that were inappropriate for children and that he really didn't care about her feelings. This kiss stunned everyone present. It wasn't only Tang Zhengtian who knew that Tang Jiu had high standards and didn't like any man. All of Tang Jiu's uncles and brothers knew this very well. This was also the reason why Tang Yi asked her to prove it. He didn't believe that Tang Jiu would have any intimate contact with this man. However, Tang Jiu's actions completely stunned everyone in the Tang family. Tang Jiu, who initially only wanted to persuade people, started to enjoy this kind of gentle feeling more and more. She never thought that kissing could be such a warm thing. Previously, Tang Jiu always thought that kissing was a kind of man's possessiveness. She didn't expect that she would fall in love with this kind of feeling. Su Yun was even more speechless. At first, he was speechless and didn't know what to do. Now, he didn't care about anything else. If he died, then he died. What was that saying again? If he died under a peony, he would still be a romantic ghost. Today, this bro had to be romantic. This meant that this experience was worth remembering, right? From the beginning of their performance to the current state of selflessness, it was completely out of human instinct. At the beginning, it was like a dragonfly skimming the surface of the water, and now it was a French kiss. This kind of thing really didn't need to be taught. This kiss lasted for more than a minute until Tang Jiu couldn't breathe anymore. Then, the two reluctantly separated. Ahem. Tang Jingtian coughed lightly. This was a little reminder from a father. After all, this was in public, and it was in front of him, the father. After all, the Hua Xia people weren't as open-minded as the Western people, especially the people of Tang Jingtian's generation. Su Yun also quickly returned to his position. If he fell deeper, it would be troublesome. Tang Jiu's flushed face couldn't calm down for a long time. Although her gaze shifted to the people in the hall, she still whispered to Su Yun without moving her lips, "What are you using to poke me? It's so hard. Hurry up and take it away." Su Yun was stunned. "My hands were hugging you, and I only cared about enjoying the warmth just now. Who would have the time to poke you? Moreover, we're in public. I'm not that kind of person." Tang Jiu frowned slightly. She twisted her body again and urged, "Hurry up and take it away." Su Yun only felt a current hit the top of his head. What the F * CK? Only then did he realize that he had a reaction. Wasn't this too embarrassing? Tang Jiu's so-called poke was because Su Xiaoyun was useless. "I didn't poke you. It's my brother." Su Yun tried his best to lower his voice. "If you move again, I won't be able to control it." Tang Jiu instantly understood Su Yun's meaning. Her entire face turned as red as an apple. Her next natural reaction was to quickly get up and leave. However, Su Yun didn't let her go. He held Tang Jiu's waist tightly and made her sit on his body obediently. F * CK. "Big sister, if you get up now, you'll be making a fool of me. My pants are thin." Su Yun looked at everyone with a smile. His lips moved slightly, and his voice was so low that only Tang Jiu could hear it. "Let's not talk about the fact that your whole family is here. Guagua is also secretly watching. No matter what, you have to give me some face as a father." Tang Jiu took a deep breath and squeezed out 2 words. "Pervert." Su Yun also tried his best to adjust his raging hormones. "I'm a pervert? You're the one who sat on me. Why didn't you think about my feelings when you sat on me? I'm a hot-blooded young man in my 20s. Other than Lu Xiaohui, who isn't a man, only a eunuch can remain calm." Tang Zhou had no words to refute. She could only sit on Su Yun's body obediently, allowing the embarrassing thing to press against her body. Then hurry up and make it go away. Su Yun was completely speechless. If I had the final say, I wouldn't have made it stick up just now. At this time, Tang Yi took the lead to clap. With a fake smile on his face, he blessed, I didn't expect Ninth Sister to find her true love in just a few days after leaving Jibei City. It seems like Hadong City produces heroes. Alright, let's see what kind of ability the man Ninth Sister has set her eyes on has. Second uncle, seventh uncle, eighth uncle, dad, and brothers, let's wait and see. Alright. Tang Sangua snorted heavily. Guagua bent her waist and said to everyone, Don't look down on me. My father isn't like you ordinary people. Humph. My father is Superman. Tang Jingtian didn't give them a chance to speak again. He raised his hand and pressed it down. You all know my body's condition very well. Since little Joe brought us someone she trusts, then as a father, I naturally have to give them a chance and let them try. I hope that you uncles can help little Joe and little Joe. Brother Tian, don't worry. We definitely will. Tang Junfeng stood up. At this point, he could only say more. If that's the case, then let's stop here for today. You should rest early. While speaking, Tang Huazhong and Tang Wanhe also stood up. They both told Tang Jingtian to rest early and take care of his body. The only one who was dissatisfied with this was Tang Sangua. It was his regret that they couldn't separate from the family, because he was the only child in the Tang family, and both of them were sons. If they separated from the family, he could get double the share, which was the biggest. It was most beneficial for him to separate from the Tang family, but looking at the situation today, it seemed that their plan was completely ruined. Chapter 155. Tang Jingtian also stood up. Little Joe, Su Yun, help me send the guests off. Yes. After Tang Jiu finished speaking, she looked back at Su Yun, her face full of anxiety. She whispered, Are you done yet? Can you hurry up? Damn. Su Yun almost vomited blood. No matter how he listened to it, it didn't sound like she wanted him to get rid of the tent. What did she mean by, can you hurry up? Damn, she was looking down on him. He was known as the Silver Spear Little Overlord. Bah! Su Yun cursed inwardly. This title was too smelly. It was only suitable for Li. With no other choice, Su Yun directly forced his qi into the tent. He could only use this method to make his valiant and spirited little brother give up first. He could only wait until he gathered his troops and bought horses in the future. Alas, he didn't know if this would affect his sex life in the future. Tang Jiu only felt that the hard thing poking her body disappeared in an instant. She didn't have time to blush and think about random things. She hurriedly stood up, afraid that she would accidentally cause Su Yun to lose control again. Second uncle, third uncle, seventh uncle, eighth uncle, take care. I'm worried about my father's health, so I won't send you off. Although Tang Jiu stood up, she didn't really mean to send the guests off. In her opinion, these uncles who loved her so much when she was young were now hungry wolves eyeing the Tang family's property. Then stay. Tang Wanhe was the easiest to talk to. He immediately responded. However, Tang Sangua wasn't so easy to get rid of. He smiled slightly and said, Since Su Yun is already a member of the Tang family, you should at least send his uncles and brothers off for the first time, right? Of course. In the future, Su Yun will have to rely on your help in Northern Ji. As Su Yun spoke, he had already walked in front of them. He stretched out one hand and said, Third uncle, please. Tang Sangua snorted and then swaggered out of the door. Tang Xiaofeng and Tang Yi followed closely behind their father. Seeing this, Tang Junfeng also walked out in front of Su Yun. Then, Tang Wanhe and Tang Huazhong also took their sons, Tang Sun and Tang Jinxing, and left with Tang Jingtun. Tang Kun and Tang Wanxin, these two fatherless children, could only follow behind them, vividly expressing the saying that a fatherless child was like a blade of grass. Especially in such a large family, they didn't even have the most basic backing. What else could they do other than be parasites? In the end, only Tang Long remained in the Tang family. Tang Long was the same as Old 5 and Old 6. He had lost his father, but the difference between him and them was that he did not want to be a parasite. As the eldest son and eldest grandson of the fourth generation of the Tang family, he naturally had his own great ambitions. After Su Yun sent the important figures out, the other clansmen also took their leave. Tang Zhengtian just waved his hand, indicating for everyone to leave. He didn't expect that when Tang Zhenfeng, Tang Sangua, and Tang Zhengtian, Tang Zhenfeng, and Tang Sangua, Tang Long, no one dared to refute them. After watching everyone leave the room, Tang Zhengtian's face changed. He raised his hand to cover his chest and said softly, "Water." Tang Zhou's face changed greatly. In the blink of an eye, his father's face became so pale. It could be seen that he had been holding on to not show his exhaustion. After all, Tang Zhengtian had been a man of his word in the Tang family for so many years. Today, his nephew of the younger generation actually talked back to him in public. Although he didn't care about it on the surface, the anger in his heart was not so easy to control. Tang Long saw this and hurriedly ran to the servants' room. He knocked on the door and said, "Aunt Xue, Aunt Xue, where's Uncle Tang's medicine?" An aunt of about 60 years old quickly walked out of the servants' room, but her complexion was definitely younger than her actual age. She looked worried and quickly took out the medicine that Tang Zhengtian needed to take at any time. Chou Yun immediately poured a cup of warm water for Aunt Xue to help Tang Zhengtian take the medicine. Although Guoguo was anxious, there was nothing she could do to help. She could only watch. Tang Zhou's eyes were red. He asked worriedly, "Aunt Xue, is my father okay?" "Don't worry, Miss Zhou. He'll be fine as long as he takes the medicine in time. He's been overworked recently. He'll be fine after some rest," Aunt Xue said faintly. Alas, little Tang's illness came too suddenly. In the Tang family, the only person who dared to call Tang Zhengtian Little Tang was Auntie Xue, a servant of the Tang family. Although Auntie Xue was a servant, she had been in the Tang family for 40 years. Back then, when Auntie Xue entered the Tang family at the age of 20, Tang Zhengtian was only a little over 10 years old. Tang Zhenfeng and the others were not even 10 years old yet. Therefore, even though Auntie Xue was a servant, her status in the Tang family wasn't as simple as a servant. Tang Zhou and the rest of the younger generation had to respectfully call her Auntie Xue. Even Tang Zhengtian and the rest of the generation had to respect Auntie Xue, who had watched them grow up. After taking the medicine, Tang Zhengtian's complexion looked much better. He smiled and said slowly, "Thank you, Sister Xue." "Alas, how many times do I have to tell you to pay attention to your body?" Aunt Xue shook her head helplessly. "Zhouer, although Aunt Xue's old, I heard what happened outside. After all, Aunt Xue is an outsider. I shouldn't get involved in the disputes of the Tang family. However, I really hope that you can help your father." Tang Zhou was already weeping. "Aunt Xue, you're not an outsider. In my eyes, you're closer to me than anyone else. You care about the Tang family more than my second uncle and third uncle." Tang Long was standing on the side. After seeing Tang Zhengtian finish the water, he hurriedly took it and frowned. He seemed to be struggling internally. "Uncle Tang, I really didn't expect Yi Fei to do such a disgraceful thing. If I had known, I... That's enough, Tang Long, don't blame yourself. Go back." Tang Zhengtian didn't have the energy to fight with the younger generation. He believed that Tang Zhou could handle this matter well. Tang Long shook his head. "Uncle Tang, how can I leave in your condition? What if?" "There's no what if." Tang Zhou reprimanded. "Aunt Xue and I are enough. You all go." Tang Long's heart was blocked. However, he told himself that even Han Xian could endure the humiliation of kneeling, so his tolerance was nothing. Okay. Sister Zhou, you must help Aunt Xue take care of Uncle Tang. If there's anything, you must call me immediately. Tang Long, you go. I want to talk to Zhou alone." Tang Zhengtian gave the final order to leave. Tang Long stood up and nodded. Yes, Uncle Tang. I'll go back first. I won't see you out, Tang Jiu said bluntly. Tang Long didn't stay any longer. He knew that there was no point in staying here. He might as well go back and think about how to explain things to Tang Yifei. Tang Yifei must hate him to the bone now. However, there was nothing he could do. Who told him to be so arrogant? Tang Jingtian hadn't even breathed his last and he wanted to rebel. He was simply crazy. Tang Long walked out of the Tang family's courtyard. Su Yun was at the door sending him off like a host. At this moment, he had the urge to kill someone. When he thought about how Tang Jingtian would rather hand the Tang family to Tang Jiu and an outsider than let him, the eldest son and grandson, take over, his heart was filled with endless jealousy. Before Tang Sangwa left, he said to Su Yun, "Young man, I can see that you're very capable and that you're not simple. However, you must understand that the Tang family is not a small family. The water is very deep. If you really step in, I'm afraid you won't be able to get out. Thank you for your advice, Uncle Tang. Su Yun will definitely be careful. Hee, I'm not afraid of the Tang family's deep waters. I know how to swim." Su Yun smiled slightly. He didn't have any intention of backing down. This old fox was talking to him. Of course, he wouldn't be so obedient. If this old thing wasn't Tang Jiu's uncle and wasn't related by blood, Su Yun would have already slapped him. F***ck, why are you acting like an old man in front of me? Tang Sangwa saw that Su Yun didn't know how to appreciate kindness and sneered in his heart. Alright, then I'd like to see what kind of tricks you can play in the Tang family. Sangwa, it's good for young people to be driven. Why do you have to dispel his enthusiasm? Tang Zhenfeng said indifferently. It was obvious that the two of them didn't get along. Tang Zhenfeng didn't even help his own brother in this matter. Tang Sangwa glared at Tang Zhenfeng. Second brother, what do you mean by this? You're speaking for an outsider and you're going against me? Tang Zhenfeng laughed and didn't answer. Su Yun also laughed and said, Second uncle, I'm really flattered by what you've done. I'll definitely not let you down and help Tang Jiu take care of the Tang family properly. Humph. It was hard to tell whether Tang Zhenfeng was laughing or angry. It's good to be driven, but remember what your uncle said just now. The Tang family's waters are very deep. Don't think that you can overturn rivers and seas just because you know how to swim. I'll give you a piece of advice here. Those who drown are those who know how to swim. Those who don't know how to swim don't have the guts to enter the water. Those who dare to enter the water think that they're good swimmers. Only when they drown will they know whether they're good swimmers or not. Su Yun nodded. Second uncle's words are insightful. F***ck. Su Yun cursed in his heart. He thought that this old fox wouldn't go overboard. He didn't expect this bastard to threaten him directly. Drown. Humph. Bring it on if you have the ability. I really don't know where I can't mix in. This was why Su Yun used the word insightful to praise him. The word insightful was often heard as fart by uncultured people. Obviously, Tang Zhenfeng's two nephews, Tang Xiaofeng and Tang Yi, were the type of uncultured people. As soon as Su Yun said the word insightful, the two of them burst out laughing. They didn't have any intention of leaving their second uncle any face. Tang Sangwa also saw that Su Yun had a poisonous mouth. He didn't want to look for trouble. After saying, wait and see, he directly drove away in his Audi A8. Tang Zhenfeng's face turned white, but he couldn't say anything. Chapter 156. Tang Zhenfeng was ridiculed by a junior, but he still suppressed his anger. At this time, Black Martin and Hu Lang, who were left in front of the Tang villa by Tang Yifei, also came forward. Where is the second young master? Tang Zhenfeng tried his best to control the anger in his heart. Today's matter was caused by his son's lack of calm. He would never forgive him. Black Martin lowered his head and said, He has already left. Tang Zhenfeng's mouth twitched. He gritted his teeth and said angrily, I don't care what method you use. Bring him home immediately. I will wait for him at home. Second uncle, don't be angry. Take care on the road. Su Yun added fuel to the fire. If you are anxious and something happens to you, then you won't see the day I drown. Tang Zhenfeng snorted. Then I thank you. Don't worry. Tang Zhenfeng, am very tough. Let's wait and see who will lose his footing first. Young man, don't be too self-righteous. You are very outstanding, but not to the point that the Tang family will only respect you. After saying this, Tang Zhenfeng opened the door and sat in his top-notch 7 Series BMW. He stepped on the accelerator angrily and drove away. Su Yun was not done yet. He waved his hand behind and shouted with a sad face, "Second uncle, drive slowly. We are not in a hurry to reincarnate. You don't have to work so hard." Tang Kun and the others felt a chill. This guy was really bold. He actually ignored Tang Zhenfeng's position in the Tang family. Even if Tang Zhenfeng drove far away and couldn't hear it, no one would dare to shout so loudly. Su Yun glanced at Tang Kun and Tang Wanxin, who didn't have any backing, and smiled without malice. "Fifth brother, sixth brother, take care. When there is time, brother-in-law will treat you to a drink." Tang Kun and Tang Wanxin instantly felt a surge of warmth in their hearts. In the entire generation of the Tang family, except for the 2 of them who had invited each other to drink, none of the other brothers had invited them on any occasion. They had always looked down on the 2 of them. "Brother, with your words, fifth brother will support you." Tang Kun immediately expressed his position and instantly felt that this outsider was much bigger. Tang Wanxin secretly tugged at Tang Kun's arm, hinting to her to be careful. The walls have ears. She didn't even know what this guy was capable of, yet she was already on his side. She was simply making a wild bet. When the time came, she wouldn't even know how she died. "If you want a rope in power, you've found the wrong person," Tang Wanxin said directly. "We can't help you with anything in the Tang family. See you later." After that, he urged Tang Kun to get in the car. The 2 of them, one in the front and one in the back, gradually drove away. Tang Long, who hadn't walked out of the villa's door, heard it clearly. He really didn't dare to take Su Yun lightly in his heart. This guy's eyes were really sharp. He knew what kind of people were the easiest to rope in at this time. He could see that the 2 guys were the people with the lowest status in the Tang family, but he didn't look down on them. This was Su Yun's advantage. At this time, he could rope in people's hearts and make the 2 feel grateful to him. Although the 2 guys had the lowest status in the Tang family, they were still members of the Tang family. As long as they were members of the Tang family, they could help him at any critical time. Tang Long took a deep breath and tried to make his expression look more flustered. He hurriedly ran to Su Yun and said, "Uncle Tang's heart has a problem again. Hurry up and go in to see him. I'm worried that Sister Joe will be sad. Today's situation is special, so I won't stay any longer. I'm afraid that Uncle Tang and Sister Joe will be angry when they see me. Alas, I don't want to talk about it. It's all a misunderstanding. I'll go first." Su Yun frowned slightly and said, "Brother Long, take care." Tang Long drove his Volkswagen Phaeton and quickly left. He should be the last person to leave. Those so-called members of the Tang family didn't have the right to speak. They were just here to be bystanders. After today's incident, they were afraid that they would be implicated, so they had already left. Su Yun looked at the Volkswagen Phaeton in the distance and thought that Tang Long was indeed a profound person. He could tell from his car that it was a top-notch 12-cylinder Phaeton that was worth more than 2 million. However, no matter how he looked at it, it looked like a large Passat. The exterior was low-key, but the interior was much more luxurious and comfortable. Only Tang Long himself knew why he bought this car. The appearance of his car was the most low-key among all his brothers. Compared with the Land Rover Range Rover, Porsche Cayenne, Audi Q7, and other SUVs, and compared with the Porsche 911, Nissan GT-R, and Audi R8, the appearance of the Phaeton was like a beggar among these cars. No one could tell at a glance that it was worth more than 2,500,000 yuan. Tang Long did this to make his brothers ignore his existence. However, his enjoyment was no less than the others. It could even be said that the price of his car was considered to be above average among all the cars owned by the Tang family. Su Yun heard Tang Long's footsteps when he was sending Tang Sangguo off, but he didn't go up to him. Instead, he waited until everyone left before he pretended to be anxious and ran over to tell him that Tang Zhengtian had a heart attack. Obviously, if Tang Zhengtian really had a heart attack, the panic he pretended to be was really disgusting. However, if Tang Zhengtian wasn't as dangerous as he said, it could only mean that this person didn't intend to let Su Yun rest easy. No matter what, Su Yun still went in first. When Su Yun entered the door, Guagua rushed over and told Su Yun what happened in the room just now. After learning that Tang Zhengtian was fine, Su Yun was relieved. Tang Jiu's face finally showed a trace of relief. Have they all left? They've all left. Su Yun smiled. If you trust me, can you let me take a look at Elder Tang's illness? Before Tang Jiu could speak, Auntie Shay spoke first. Treating a patient is a doctor's job. It's better for outsiders to not treat patients. Tang Jiu was stunned. It sounded like Auntie Shay was very unfriendly towards Su Yun, which made her feel a little embarrassed. On one hand, she was a veteran of the Tang family, whom even her father respected. On the other hand, she had asked Su Yun to help her in Hadong City. If she didn't help either side, it would be embarrassing. Fortunately, Su Yun didn't care and smiled. Tang Zhengtian saw that Su Yun was able to see through other people's misunderstandings so easily. He couldn't help but secretly praise him. Auntie Shay, Su Yun meant well, Tang Jiu explained on behalf of Su Yun. Guagua wasn't happy. Humph, what's so great about that? You guys don't know how to appreciate kindness. Usually, people who want to ask my father to treat their illness can't get him even with 8 sedan chairs. Today he took the initiative to help you guys, and you guys have such an attitude. F***ck. Su Yun almost choked. What Guagua said was too exaggerated. She simply compared him to Hua Tuo, Bien Ke, or some other kind of divine doctor. If he really didn't have the ability to treat people, he would be laughed at by Aunt Shui. Auntie Shay didn't do anything because Guagua was a child. Her expression was still calm as she said to Tang Jiu, Joer, Auntie Shay knows that you have your own ideas since you were young. Auntie Shay has always believed in your judgment. The person you like can't be wrong. He must be a dragon among men. Tang Jiu breathed a sigh of relief. Yes, Auntie Shay. Therefore, Su Yun is very outstanding. Su Yun didn't understand. Was Auntie Shay praising him in disguise? Or, this Auntie Shay was really... How should he put it? Guagua was happy when she heard this. She said, that makes sense. Humph, can the father I like be bad? If he isn't a dragon among men, I, Feng Guagua, wouldn't like him either. Hee, Sister Little Joe, we are indeed good sisters. You can even judge a person accurately. Tang Jiu nodded. Cho Yun was speechless. She was afraid that Su Yun wouldn't be able to bear such a high praise. But Auntie Shay's words made Tang Jiu and Guagua's proud expressions freeze. She continued, this is a special time. Joer, you know your father's condition the best. At this time, you can't let your guard down. Auntie Shay believes in you, but at this time, please allow Auntie Shay to doubt the person you like. I won't let anyone have a chance to get close to your father. If something happens, I will be sorry for the Tang family. Tang Jiu's face was clouded with worry. Auntie Shay, please don't say that. I know you are doing this for the good of the Tang family, for Joer and my father. I understand, I really do. After all, Tang Jiu was a member of the Tang family. It was normal for her to understand, but how would Guagua and Cho Yun understand? How would Su Yun understand? What if a bad person wants to take advantage of this time? Joer, you are still young. Society is dangerous. Sometimes, you have to be vigilant. Auntie Shay's words were a little too much. At least, Tang Zhengtian felt that it was a little too much. Although Su Yun didn't say anything on the surface, he was more or less unhappy in his heart. He came here with good intentions, but he was bitten by a dog when he came here. Lu Dongbin didn't know how to appreciate kindness, so of course he would feel uncomfortable. Guagua wasn't happy. She immediately expressed her position. Sister Xiao Jiu, although we are good sisters, your auntie's words are too harsh. After all this time, my father and I came all the way to Jibei City to help you, but we became bad people who want to take advantage of your Tang family's property. If that's the case, then we'll go back. Otherwise, there will be people who want to give us a hard time. Guagua, don't make trouble. Of course, Tang Jiu was anxious. She was really afraid that Su Yun would get angry and really leave. Anyway, her temper was like this. If she was Su Yun now, she would definitely fall out with Auntie Shay. Guagua's little face was red with anger. Did I make trouble? Sister Xiao Jiu, I'm telling the truth. They don't even have the most basic respect. I'm really disappointed. I won't allow my father to be bullied and talked about like that. Su Yun really loved this little girl. She knew when to stand up for her godfather. Chapter 157. This isn't a matter of apologizing or not. Guagua said angrily, Sister Xiao Jiu, this has nothing to do with you. I can swallow this anger, but I can't just watch my dad suffer like this. Tang Jington suddenly raised his head and laughed. Ha ha ha, whose little girl is this? She's really smart. Su Yun, I don't believe this is your girl. Where did you find such a treasure? Elder Tang, thank you for the compliment. My girl is really smart. Su Yun smiled. She said those words out of anger. Don't take it to heart. After all, she's still a child. Her tolerance is still a bit lacking. Guagua was unhappy when she heard that. Dad, this is a matter of principle. It's not a matter of tolerance. Yes. This is a matter of principle. Our Tang family has been rude to our guests. Ha ha ha, Su Yun, I sincerely apologize for this matter. Tang Zhengtian said, I believe that the person my daughter likes is not the kind of person who brags. Since you said so, I believe you have a profound understanding of medicine, right? Su Yun smiled. I can't say it's profound, but I know a thing or two. Tang Zhengtian slammed the table. Good. As expected, you're knowledgeable and young. Today, you'll take a look at this old thing and see how long I can live. Ha ha ha, you can also let Zhou prepare for my funeral in advance. Ha ha ha. Dad. What nonsense are you talking about? Tang Zhou was so anxious that she almost turned hostile. If Tang Zhengtian said another unlucky word, she would immediately disown him. Tang Zhengtian could only laugh dryly. Seeing his daughter so anxious for him, he felt that his life was not in vain. No, as long as I'm here, I won't let outsiders mess around. Auntie Shui coldly rejected again. You're the head of the Tang family. How can you let anyone treat you? I only believe in doctors. I don't believe in anyone. Guagua was instantly filled with hatred for Auntie Shui. Why are you so unreasonable? Even Elder Tang said that he could let my father treat him. What right do you have to say that you don't believe it? My father hasn't even seen it yet. How do you know that he can't do it? Is it you or Grandfather Tang who has the final say in this family? Auntie, why are you so old-fashioned? Even doctors might not be better than my dad. Sister Shui, I believe in little Su. Let him try. Tang Jingtian smiled faintly. Tang Jiu also said, That's right, Auntie Shui. Su Yun definitely doesn't have any improper thoughts about our Tang family. I can guarantee that, really. He's definitely not with me because he wants anything from our Tang family. Su Yun, hurry up and explain to Auntie Shui. There's nothing to explain. Grandfather Tang said he trusts me, so I'll show it to him. I'm afraid no one else has the right to stop me. Su Yun smiled. Auntie Shui, I'm sorry to offend you. It's not that I don't want to listen to you, but I'm more congenial with Elder Tang. Auntie Shue's expression instantly turned ugly. You'll regret not listening to me. Joe, you've always listened to Auntie Shue since you were young. Today you actually... Auntie Shue, please don't think that way. Tang Zhou felt extremely uncomfortable after hearing Auntie Shue's words. Grandfather Tang, let's go to your room then. Su Yun ignored Auntie Shue's obstruction. He wasn't going to argue with an old woman like Guagua. Seeing how Tang Jiu respected Auntie Shue, he assumed that Auntie Shue must have worked hard and contributed greatly to the Tang family. Tang Jingtian smiled and stood up. Auntie Shue saw that she couldn't stop him, so she let out a long sigh. Her face was full of worry. It was as if the entire Tang family would be snatched away by an outsider if Su Yun came into contact with Tang Jingtian. Tang Jingtian didn't say anything else. He directly brought Su Yun to his room. He was really curious about the all-rounder that Tang Jiu had brought back. Was he really good at everything? Tang Jiu could only comfort her. Auntie Shue, don't worry. Su Yun knows a thing or two about this. He won't mess around. Even though Tang Jiu said that, Auntie Shue still frowned. She stood up and said, Jiu, what do you want to eat? You must be hungry. Auntie Shue will make medicinal porridge for you, okay? You must not have eaten well outside during this time. Your complexion doesn't look good. Auntie Shue is worried. The more Guagua listened, the more uncomfortable she felt. The medicinal porridge that Sister Joe ate at our house is definitely better than the one you made. Why doesn't she look good? You make it sound like we didn't take good care of Sister Joe. Humph. Auntie Shue smiled faintly and went to the kitchen. Tang Zhou didn't know whether to laugh or cry. He picked up Guagua and said, Okay, Sister will prepare a room for Guagua first. We will eat after the room is ready. Guagua can try it later. Auntie Shue's medicinal porridge is comparable to your father's medicinal porridge. When Guagua heard that she could rest and that there would be delicious food later, she was no longer angry. She immediately became excited with Tang Zhou. Chou Yun didn't say anything. She silently followed behind Tang Zhou. It had to be said that the Tang family's villa was very big. The third floor was Tang Zhengtian's, and the second floor was Tang Zhou's world. Therefore, Guagua could live wherever she wanted on this floor. After Su Yun and Tang Jingtian came to one of his study rooms, Tang Jingtian took off his shirt and sat down according to Su Yun's instructions. Then, he stretched out his wrist to Su Yun. Seeing that Tang Jingtian could still maintain such a figure in his 50s, Su Yun somewhat admired him. This wasn't something an ordinary middle-aged man could do. His 8-pack was still clearly visible. Su Yun checked Tang Jingtian's pulse with one hand, and the other hand pointed at Tang Jingtian's chest. Sometimes, heart problems would affect the frequency and pulse. In this case, there was basically no cure. Therefore, Su Yun had to confirm it first. Fortunately, Tang Jingtian hadn't reached the point where he couldn't be cured. However, this pulse was a bit strange. This pulse definitely wasn't caused by a heart problem. It was obviously caused by an external force that caused Tang Jingtian's heart to not have enough blood supply, which led to his heart problems. Grandfather Tang, can you tell me how you feel? Su Yun, when did you start to have heart problems? What was the specific reaction like? About a month ago, there was a sudden heart problem without any warning. I went to the hospital for a checkup, and they said it was a myocardial infarction. As for the cause, I don't know. I usually take care of my body. I didn't expect to have heart problems at this age. Although Tang Zhengtian said it calmly, he was more or less uncomfortable in his heart. Su Yun shook his head. Grandfather Tang, I don't know which doctor examined you, but I want to say that according to your pulse, this definitely isn't a heart problem. It definitely isn't a problem with your body. Oh. Tang Jingtian frowned. It's not a problem with my body. Su Yun, what do you mean? Grandfather Tang, I really don't dare to say such things. Su Yun's face didn't look like he was joking. If I said this, let alone you, I'm afraid even Tang Zhou would fall out with me. Tang Zhengtian seemed to have realized something. Then I have to let Tang Zhou hear it. Su Yun didn't avoid Tang Zhengtian's gaze. Are you sure? I'm sure, Tang Zhengtian said. Go and call her over. After all, this is a matter of the Tang family. I think she needs to know the details. If my heart problem isn't a problem with me, but caused by someone else, then she needs to know the truth. Su Yun said with admiration, Grandfather Tang, you trust me that much? Tang Jingtian smiled faintly. Ever since you stepped into this family, I've trusted you because you were brought back by my daughter. If I'm really wrong, then I'll just take it that I've lived for nothing. Hearing this, Su Yun stood up. I'll call Tang Zhou over now. Su Yun left Tang Zhengtian's study room and went to the second floor. Tang Zhou had already arranged a room for Guagua and Chou Yun. The room that Guagua chose was absolutely perfect. The room was less than 50 square meters. Not only was it huge, but it was also filled with plush toys. Tang Zhou, come with me, Su Yun said. There are some things that I need to say in front of you. Tang Zhou was stunned. Her face instantly turned pale. Is my father's illness very serious? It's not. Su Yun didn't want her to worry. Not only is it not serious, I'm confident that I can cure him. However, before that, there are some things that I need to say. Your father wants you to listen to him. Can you really cure him? Then, tell me, what do you want? I'll agree to anything you want. Really? You don't have to ask for my opinion. Tang Zhou was excited. Su Yun was speechless. Do you think that I'm here to ask for something? Tang Zhou's face turned red. If Su Yun was that kind of person, he would have already asked for an exorbitant price. Let's go, I'll go with you. I want to go too. Guagua said. As your good sister, do I have to listen to you? Okay. You go too. Tang Zhou held Guagua's hand and turned to Chou Yun. Chou Yun, you come too. Since you're here, we're family. Chou Yun shook her head. I'm not going. I'm a little tired. I want to rest. Okay. Then you rest. I'll call you when it's time to eat. Tang Zhou didn't force her. Guagua sighed and shook her head. Sigh, it seemed that Sister Chou Yun was upset just now. Otherwise, why would she feel tired? She must have felt weird after seeing Su Yun kissing Tang Zhou. Su Yun glanced at Chou Yun. He knew that she had something on her mind, but he didn't know that it was because of him. Since Chou Yun liked to be alone, he might as well let her be alone for a while. The three of them left the room and went straight to Tang Zhengtian's study on the third floor. Guagua seemed to be very satisfied with this villa. She seemed to recall the place where she used to live. It felt quite similar to this place. Chapter 158. Su Yun, don't keep me in suspense. How is my father's condition? Tang Zhou was only worried about her father's condition. Hurry up and tell me. I'm about to die from anxiousness. Just tell me how he needs to be treated. Su Yun took a deep breath and finally said, Grandfather Tang's illness isn't caused by his body. Someone has been secretly feeding him drugs that are not good for his heart. Some drugs are good for the heart if taken in small amounts for a short period of time. However, if taken over a long period of time or in excess, it will cause heart problems. Tang Zhengtian had already realized that there was such a problem. That was why he asked Tang Zhou to come over and listen. Tang Zhou frowned when he heard that. Su Yun, what do you mean? Are you saying that someone has been secretly feeding my father poison for a long period of time? Am I stupid? Do you think I'll just stand by and watch a disloyal person poison my father? Can you bring Grandfather Tang's medical kit over? Su Yun, I'll prove it to you. Tang Zhou immediately followed Su Yun's instructions and brought out all the medical kits in the house for Su Yun. Su Yun didn't hesitate and opened all of them. Medicine was a very subtle thing. Su Yun, who was proficient in pharmacology, understood this point very well. Medicine, when used correctly, could save people. However, if used well, it could also harm people. Soon, Su Yun took out a bottle of quinidine tablets. This is an important drug used to treat arrhythmias. However, when the blood concentration exceeds 6 micrograms per liter, it will cause ventricular paroxysmal tachycardia and even ventricular fibrillation. It can also cause coronary artery embolism, stroke, sudden loss of consciousness, twitching of limbs, and even respiratory arrest. Tang Zhou's eyes widened. She didn't expect Su Yun's knowledge of medicine to be so deep. Tang Jingtian looked at Su Yun with interest. This young man's performance was getting better and better. No wonder little Zhou was so infatuated with him. Although Tang Jingtian vaguely felt that their relationship wasn't that of lovers, he was sure that his daughter was moved. Digitalis and digoxin are used to treat heart failure. However, if used in excess, it can cause arrhythmias, atrioventricular block, or congestive heart failure. If not treated in time, it can result in death due to ventricular fibrillation. Su Yun flipped through the pages and said, excessive use of aminophylline can lead to sinus tachycardia, and respiratory distress can lead to ventricular fibrillation. Excessive use of lidocaine can cause a drop in blood pressure and even cardiac arrest. Tang Zhou did not understand what Su Yun was saying, and she did not want to listen anymore. Even if what you said is not good, my father definitely did not eat it randomly. Tang Jingtian nodded. Su Yun, Zhou is right. I've never taken any of these medicines. Even if I needed them, I took them under the doctor's orders. There's no mistake. Elder Tang. Forget it, I'll just call you Uncle Tang. Calling you Elder Tang makes you sound old. With a faint smile, Su Yun continued, Uncle Tang, what I want to say is that if a person without any mental illness takes these drugs for a long time, it will also cause the heart muscle function to become chaotic. Do you understand what I mean? Why would my father take medicine when he's not sick? Tang Zhou frowned. Su Yun, what are you trying to say? Tang Zhengtian's expression had already begun to change. He tried his best not to think too much, but his body could not help but tremble. What I want to say is that someone has been adding these drugs to Uncle Tang's meals for a long time, which led to Uncle Tang's current state. Su Yun was very serious. He did not sound like he was joking at all. Even Guagua could tell what Su Yun meant. She immediately covered her mouth and looked at Tang Jingtian and Tang Zhou in shock. Tang Zhou was furious. She pushed Su Yun and scolded, Su Yun, what do you mean? My father's meals at home are all prepared by Auntie Shay herself. No one else will touch them. Auntie Shay only suspected you for my father and me. You don't have to blame Auntie Shay for such a small thing, do you? Zhou, be more polite to the guests. Tang Jingtian said. Su Yun did not mind being pushed by Tang Zhou. He smiled and said, Uncle Tang has a lot of dinners outside. It's not impossible for someone to do something outside. I'm not talking about Auntie Shay. But it's Auntie Shay who takes care of our meals most of the time. Tang Zhou was still very angry. Su Yun, I'm warning you, don't talk nonsense. Guagua could not help but speak up for Su Yun. Sister Xiao Zhou, my father has good intentions. Don't blame him. He always says what he wants to say. He would never say anything bad about that auntie just because she suspected him. My father is not that kind of person. You should know that. Su Yun did not know whether to laugh or cry as he looked at Guagua. This little girl was even more protective than him. Su Yun, I'm sorry. After Tang Zhou calmed down, he realized that Su Yun was not the kind of person who would talk nonsense. I was a little too agitated just now. Just pretend that I didn't say those words. I really didn't do it on purpose. It's nothing. Su Yun waved his hand and smiled. I know you believe Auntie Shay. I'm just making an inference. When Auntie Shay finishes cooking, I just need to taste it to know. Tang Zhou frowned deeply. Dad, we suspect Auntie Shay. I feel that. It's not suspicion. It's to help your Auntie Shay. Tang Jingtian smiled. I don't believe that Auntie Shay would do that either. However, since Su Yun said so, we have to believe him. Su Yun smiled. I don't want this to have anything to do with Auntie Shay either. At that moment, Auntie Shay informed them that it was time to eat. Tang Jingtian stood up with a smile. Let's go. No matter what, let's invite Su Yun to try Auntie Shay's cooking. Her medicinal cuisine is very good. How is it, Su Yun? My dad said that Auntie Shay's cooking is really good. It's not worse than yours. Tang Jiu threw away the haze from before and unconsciously put his arm around Su Yun's arm. Tang Jingtian looked surprised. Su Yun can cook? The chef of the medicinal cuisine restaurant is not just for show, Tang Jiu introduced proudly. Guagua exclaimed and ran out. I'll go call Sister Cho Yun. You guys can go down first. After they sat down, Auntie Shay served the medicinal cuisine that she was good at. Su Yun picked up his chopsticks without hesitation. Uncle Tang, I won't stand on ceremony. I haven't eaten anything on the way here. I'm a little hungry. Tang Jingtian smiled. He knew what Su Yun meant. Come, you're the guest. Please enjoy. Okay. Haha, I'll try it first. Su Yun picked up his chopsticks and stuffed the food into his mouth. Because Guagua was very suspicious that the old woman would poison the food, she went to find Cho Yen in advance and told her what had happened just now. Guagua, whose stomach was growling, could only force a smile and say that she was not hungry. After eating, Su Yun couldn't help but praise, Auntie Shay's cooking is good. Auntie Shay stood to the side expressionlessly. Even though Su Yun said that, she didn't smile. She said coldly, Little girl, are you afraid that I'll poison the food? Your stomach is growling, but you still refuse to eat. You guys are too careful. No, no, no. I didn't say that. I just don't want to eat. Guagua really didn't want to offend Auntie Shay. She muttered in her heart that she was taking advantage of her seniority and didn't say anything else. Su Yun didn't find anything wrong with the dishes. He indicated that there was no problem. The stone in Tang Jiu's heart was instantly lifted. Auntie Shay's expression was cold. She seemed to know what Su Yun was doing. When the meal was almost finished, Auntie Shay brought out a small bowl of cordyceps and figs from the kitchen. Drink it while it's hot. Auntie Shay, what about us? Su Yun immediately asked. This is prepared separately. I'm sorry, it's not for you. Auntie Shay didn't hesitate. Tang Zhengtan looked at the cordyceps and figs in front of him and thought of Su Yun's words. Could it be that the soup he drank after every meal was the culprit? Su Yun giggled as he placed the pot in front of Tang Zhengtian. I'm sorry, Uncle Tang. I'm greedy and useless. Since I'm a guest, why don't you let me drink it? Tang Jingtian smiled. He knew what Su Yun meant. No. It's not for you. Auntie Shay scolded angrily. Her expression changed. The stone in Tang Jiu's heart was lifted again. Auntie Shay had such a big reaction. Was she really guilty? The cordyceps and figs were her father's soup after every meal. It was also the most likely place the drugs that damaged the heart. Su Yun didn't pay attention to Auntie Shay's words. He picked up the bowl of soup and drank it. Guagua's heart jumped when she saw that. Auntie Shay's reaction was so big that Guagua felt as if it was a bowl of poison. Whoever drank it would die. Su Yun drank it all in one breath. He put the bowl on the table and touched his mouth. He praised Auntie Shay. Auntie Shay, your soup is so good. You're very familiar with the resistance between ingredients and drugs. You can use the original taste of the ingredients to cover the smell of the drugs. This technique is not something ordinary people can do. Auntie Shay looked at Su Yun coldly. She didn't look happy at all. Thank you. Tang Jiu was startled by Su Yun's ambiguous words. She was really afraid that Su Yun would say that Auntie Shui had really put the medicine that damaged her father's heart muscle in the pot of cordyceps and figs. Tang Jingtian sat quietly in his seat and waited for Su Yun's answer. He was prepared. If Auntie Shay had something to do with this, then God wanted him dead. Chapter 159. However, Su Yun's final answer disappointed Guagua. He didn't find anything wrong with the medicinal cuisine. Although Su Yun still insisted on his initial judgment, this matter had absolutely nothing to do with Auntie Shay. It should be something that could be confirmed. Tang Jiu was relieved. I told you it couldn't have anything to do with Aunt Shay. How could Aunt Shay do something like that? Su Yun nodded and said, Isn't that what we're hoping for? But I don't doubt my own judgment. Uncle Tang's health problem must be because of this. Logically speaking, the doctor that Uncle Tang hired is definitely not an ordinary doctor, right? He should at least be an expert. An expert wouldn't make such a stupid mistake. It's impossible that he can't even figure out the cause of the illness. I want to see that doctor. I'm worried that someone is manipulating the situation. Su Yun's words were reasonable, but Tang Jingtian nodded. He could suspect anyone now, not because he trusted Su Yun wholeheartedly, but because he always felt that something was wrong. Now that Su Yun pointed it out, he felt that something was wrong. But a doctor has the heart of a parent. He wouldn't say something like that, would he? Tang Jiu said. A doctor has the heart of a parent. However, money makes the world go round. There are always variables in everything. Su Yun smiled. I still hope that this has nothing to do with the doctor. However, we need to investigate to prove it. Tang Zhengtian told Su Yun the doctor's address. Tang Jiu took out the key and stood up. I'll go with you. I'll go too. Guagua said enthusiastically. I can go by myself. Su Yun raised his hand. It's not good to have too many people go. I can handle it by myself. You guys don't need to add to the trouble. Guagua, you stay with Cho Yun and don't run around. If you want to go out and play, let Tang Jiu take you. Got it. Guagua nodded. Got it. Of course, going out to play was more attractive than going out to do serious business. Can you do it yourself? Tang Jiu asked. You don't believe me? Su Yun smiled. Tang Jiu smiled and relaxed. Of course not. You go by yourself. I'll get the car keys for you. Just drive yours, Su Yun said. I'm going to bring Guagua and Cho Yun to Jibei City's most famous night market. I'll get you a car, Tang Jiu said and went upstairs. Of course, it was impossible for a rich family like them to only have one car. However, the car keys that Tang Jiu threw to Su Yun still shocked Su Yun. What the F***CK? It's not like we're going on a long trip. Why would they need such a big car like the Ford E350? I randomly picked one up. I'll take you to the garage. Tang Jiu said and led Su Yun out of the villa. After they exited the villa, they went straight to the basement through a door on the right. The cost of building this villa was not small. It had a private underground garage. Su Yun only glanced at it casually. The number of cars in the basement was enough for an ordinary family to live on for 10 lifetimes. Su Yun saw the big car at first glance. He waved his hand and got into the car. After he started the engine, he entered the address that Tang Zhengtian told him into the car's navigation system. Then, he said goodbye to Tang Jiu and went straight to the destination. It was not far, only about 10 kilometers away. Tang Jiu watched as Su Yun left. Her heart was shrouded in a layer of shadow. If Su Yun's judgment was correct, then who was the person who wanted to harm her father? Right now, the people who wanted to take over the Tang family the most were her second uncle, Tang Zhenfeng, and his son, Tang Yifei. Especially with Tang Yifei's attitude today, he was the most likely person to do such a thing. However, Tang Zhenfeng's attitude after that made her feel that it was not. Tang Jingtan watched as Su Yun drove away from the Tang family's courtyard. He called Tang Jiu to his study and said that he wanted to talk to her alone. Tang Jiu asked Guagua to wait for him first. After a while, he would immediately take Guagua to Jibei City's famous large-scale night market. There were all kinds of delicious food and fun things to eat there. Guagua was anxious when she heard that. After arriving at Tang Zhengtian's study, Tang Jiu said coquettishly, "Dad, why are you looking for me?" "What's your relationship with Su Yun?" "There's no one else here now. You should tell me directly, right? Tang Zhengtian said with a smile. Tang Zhou was slightly stunned. She said, "Didn't I already say that he's my boyfriend? Didn't you always urge me to find a boyfriend? Now that I've brought him to you, what are you still not satisfied with? It seems that you quite admire him. What do you think, Dad? Do you like him? If you don't like him, I'll dump him tomorrow and find another one." Tang Jingtian smiled slightly. "Zhou, are you still not going to tell me the truth?" "No." Tang Zhou couldn't continue lying after saying that. Okay. He's my friend. I asked him to help." "Just a friend." Tang Jingtian frowned. "Yes, Dad. Don't worry. He's a very reliable person. Even if you don't believe him, you should trust your daughter's judgment, right?" Tang Zhou said, "The person I like can't be wrong." Tang Jingtian smiled. "It's precisely because he can't be wrong that I'm worried. Zhou, tell me, have you fallen in love with him?" Tang Zhou's face turned red. "No." "Ha ha ha ha. When do you think you'll let me, your father, stop worrying about you?" Okay. Go and play. Bring your little sister along. Hee. Remember to eat the most famous stinky tofu in Jibei." Tang Jingtian laughed happily. For the first time in so many days, he was so relaxed because his daughter had found someone she could rely on. As a father, he was relieved. Now, even if he had to leave because of heart problems, he could rest in peace. Tang Zhou walked out of the study with a blushing face. She immediately called Guagua and Chou Yun out together. "Guagua, let's go. Sister will bring you to eat the most famous stinky tofu in Jibei." I love it." Guagua was excited. She immediately pulled Chou Yun and ran out. Chou Yun, of course, would listen to Guagua. As long as she was happy, she would do anything. The three of them got into the car and Tang Jiao quickly drove to Jibei City's night market. Although she was a child of a rich family, she had a special liking for this night market. Many people liked this place. Not all rich second-generation heirs would spend 888 yuan on a pack of tissues to be happy. There were many children of rich families like Tang Jiao who liked to buy some treasures here. At the same time, Su Yun was heading west. When Tang Jiao and the others arrived at the night market, he had also arrived at a high-class residential area in Jibei City. According to the address given by Tang Zhangfeng, he quickly found the door of room 1901 in Building 58. Ding dong. Su Yun pressed the doorbell. Soon, an impatient voice came from inside. "Who is it? What's the matter? It's so late. Don't you know that everyone is asleep?" It seemed that this doctor was quite arrogant. He probably thought that he was a gift in the middle of the night. Su Yun said loudly outside the door, "I'm sorry to disturb Dr. An's rest. I'm a member of the Tang family." The door was silent for a moment. Immediately, Su Yun heard that the voice had become polite. He ran to the door in his slippers and quickly opened it. "Oh, I thought it was another insurance salesman. I'm so sorry." As he spoke, the man who opened the door was stunned. He looked at the uninvited guest and asked, "Who are you?" "I'm not here to check the water meter." Su Yun stepped into the room. Hey, who are you? Are you a member of the Tang family? Why haven't I seen you before?" Obviously, this man in his 40s was Dr. and Su Yun smiled. "I just arrived at the Tang family today. It's normal that you don't know me. Hee, aren't you going to invite me to sit down and have a cup of tea? Friend, do you know that trespassing is a crime? If this was the United States, I would have already shot you." Dr. An said angrily. "Dr. An, don't scare me. This is Hua Xia, not the United States. If you have a gun, it's a crime of possessing a gun." Hee. Su Yun didn't treat himself as an outsider. He sat on the sofa, picked up the washed apple on the coffee table and ate it. A young woman who hadn't tidied up her clothes walked out of the bedroom. She said impatiently, "Who is it?" Su Yun looked up. She wasn't even wearing underwear. The young woman didn't look like she was in her 30s. This Dr. N was at least 43. This old cow eating young grass was quite fancy. Su Yun chuckled and said to the young woman, "In any case, she's not a mistress or anything." When the young woman heard Su Yun's rude words, she immediately became angry. "Who is this person? Call the police. Hurry and let the police take him away. How dare you bring just anyone into the house? Aren't you afraid that it's someone your wife found to cause trouble for me?" "Oh, you're right. I'm here to splash sulfuric acid," Su Yun said and pretended to get up to scare her. The young woman was so scared that she trembled and almost knelt down. Su Yun roared with laughter. "Just this bit of guts and you dare to learn from others to be a mistress? Hee hee, you can't do that." Dr. N couldn't take it anymore and angrily scolded, "Get out of here right now. Otherwise, I won't be polite to you." "It's not certain who will be rude to who, right?" Su Yun stopped smiling and his expression became cold. He angrily stared at Dr. N. "Grandson, you know what you've done, right?" Dr. N trembled under Su Yun's cold stare, but he still said stubbornly, "What nonsense are you talking about? I don't even know you." Su Yun didn't want to talk nonsense with him. No matter what the reason was, it was a fact that he lied to Tang Jingtian about the cause of his illness. Su Yun directly slapped him. Dr. N spun in a circle and only stopped when his head hit the wall. Chapter 160. After the slap, Dr. N went soft. He was a typical bully. Seeing Su Yun being so fierce, his legs trembled and he said, "Big brother, I really don't know what I did to offend you. Big brother, can you give me a clear answer?" I will definitely change." "Good for you. You really know how to read the situation. Just now you told me to get lost, and now you're calling me your relative? Who's your big brother?" Su Yun said disdainfully, "Don't F*King talk nonsense with me. I'm not your brother. I don't have the time to waste with you. Whatever I ask, just answer. Don't tell me half a lie. If you dare to say half a lie, I'll castrate you." Dr. N trembled again. Yes. As the saying goes, a wise man submits to circumstances. "I definitely won't dare to say half a lie." Su Yun glared at him disdainfully. "As the saying goes? Are you showing off to me that you're cultured? Let me ask you, what's going on with Tang Zhengtian's illness?" Su Yun's question made Dr. An's back break out in a thin layer of cold sweat. After his lips trembled a few times, he finally opened his mouth. Maybe it's because Mr. Tang overworked himself." "Overworked himself? Is that so?" Su Yun touched his chin and asked with a puzzled expression. Dr. N nodded hurriedly. Yes. Think about it, the Tang family is so big. It's normal for Mr. Tang to overwork himself. But don't worry, I'll do my best to cure Mr. Tang's illness." "Oh, I see. So you're an expert in the cardiology department?" Su Yun continued. Yes. Yes, I'm the authority in the cardiology department of Jibei City." Dr. N was quite proud when he said this. He was very confident about this. In Jibei City, his words about heart disease were definitely of great importance. Dr. N had just finished his sentence when Su Yun kicked him. Clang! The kick was so vicious that it sent Dr. N flying 3 to 5 meters away. Dr. An's back hit the dining table before he fell to the ground and stopped. The mistress who lived with this quack doctor screamed in fright. She held onto the door and squatted on the ground. Her legs were completely limp and powerless, unable to support her huge meatball body. Dr. N lay on the ground for a while before he could speak. "Big brother, let's talk nicely. Can you stop hitting me? My body really can't take it anymore. I didn't intend to make a move. You forced me." Su Yun smiled. "You promised me that you wouldn't say a single word of falsehood, right? That means you're a quack. Don't you think it's right for me to beat up a quack?" Dr. N complained, "I'm really an expert. If you don't believe me, You can go to the hospital and ask. Su Yun stared at Dr. N. Are you really an expert? Then why can't you see that there's more to Tang Zhengtian's illness? Even a barefoot doctor like me can see it. How can an expert like you not be able to see it? I don't believe that you can't see it, so I'll give you a chance. Tell me, who made you not tell the truth? If you tell me this person, I'll let you go. Dr. An's face instantly turned ashen. He stared at Su Yun in fright. His mouth trembled as he said a few words. What did I say? What do you mean by more to Tang Zhengtian? I don't understand what you mean. Who are you? Grandson, I'm the one who's questioning you today. How dare you ask me back? Su Yun was speechless. If he didn't do something ruthless, this guy probably wouldn't talk. While they were talking, Su Yun had already dragged Dr. N to the side of the marble tea table and knelt down. Dr. N was dragged like a dead dog. He didn't have a chance to resist. His face was ashen and filled with fright. He didn't know what the person facing him would do next. Su Yun took a deep breath. Looks like if I don't teach you a lesson, you won't tell me the truth. Dr. N's face became darker and darker. He didn't know how things had suddenly developed into this uncontrollable state. I really don't know what you mean. Big brother, don't worry. If there's something, let's talk it out. Talk it out. People with ulterior motives would always stutter when speaking because no one knew what they were thinking. Su Yun could see this with one glance. This doctor wasn't a kind person. A doctor who would lie to a patient was a death sentence in Su Yun's dictionary. I want to talk it out, but you don't have any sincerity. As Su Yun spoke, he picked up an Avona stone ashtray from the table and chuckled. However, the smile disappeared in the blink of an eye. He quickly reached out and pulled Dr. An's hand to the coffee table with lightning speed. Without saying a word, he raised the stone ashtray in his hand and smashed it at the back of Dr. An's hand. Ouch! Before Dr. An could react, a sharp tearing pain came from the back of his hand. That was definitely the feeling of his bones being broken. He was a doctor, so he knew very well what that kind of pain meant. Su Yun didn't seem to be satisfied with this smash. He followed it up with another heavy smash. His mouth was still muttering, "If I don't show you my power, you'll think I'm a sick cat, right?" Dr. An looked at his left hand being smashed out of shape by the ashtray. The pain and distortion in his heart couldn't be expressed with words. He almost used a heart-wrenching voice to beg for mercy. "Let me go. I'll talk, I'll tell you everything." Facing Dr. N, who knew that he would die if he spoke, he was still completely subdued by the fiendish Su Yun in front of him. He didn't know if this person would really kill him if he didn't speak. But that already broken hand was enough to prove that this young man in front of him was definitely a fiendish existence. "Speak, I'm listening. If you speak well, I'll immediately go to the hospital to check on your hand. If you don't, then I'm sorry, but you don't need that hand anymore." Su Yun's eyes narrowed as he smiled. "I'm not joking. You only have one chance. Dr. N, you must seize it. Since I'm here, then I know what to do. Otherwise, I wouldn't have known that Tang Zhengtian's heart disease was caused by drugs. You better think carefully before you speak." Dr. An's forehead was sweating. Rather than saying it was because of pain, it was more of fear. It seemed that money really couldn't be taken carelessly, especially money from the Tang family. Even if he had the life to take it, he might not have the life to spend it. Finally, under Su Yun's interrogation, Dr. An's forehead was covered in cold sweat. He held his injured left hand and trembled as he said, "Tang Yifei." Su Yun frowned. "What did Tang Yifei tell you?" He said, "Don't tell him the cause of Mr. Tang's illness. Tell him that it's because of your own body. If I don't do it, he won't let me go." Dr. An trembled as he said, "It's not that I want to do this. I have no other choice." Su Yun snorted. "How much money did Tang Yifei give you? You don't even care about medical ethics?" Dr. An's mouth twitched. He threatened me. I had no choice. I didn't do it for money. I I did it for my life. You have to believe me. I was forced to lie because I had no other choice. Su Yun threw the ashtray to the ground. Okay, I'll give you one more chance. Next time, before you do something like this, ask yourself if you deserve to be an expert. Do you understand? If you continue to talk nonsense with the title of an expert, it won't be as simple as a broken hand next time. Yes. You're right, big brother. Dr. An's frightened expression was laughable. Su Yun sneered and got up to leave. He quickly left this high-class residential area. However, Su Yun didn't believe people so easily. Although Dr. An said Tang Yifei's name when he was injured, Su Yun still felt that he said it too quickly. But no matter what, he was sure that someone was manipulating this matter. It was better to go back and tell Tang Zhengtun first. But just as Su Yun got in the car, Tang Jiu called. Su Yun picked up and heard Guoguo's voice. Dad, are you done with your business? We are waiting for you at the night market of the pedestrian street. Do you want to come? If you want to come, I will buy your portion of stinky tofu as well. Guoguo giggled. It seemed that she was having a lot of fun. Su Yun hurriedly said, Of course I'll go. But you don't have to buy me stinky tofu. It's best to eat it while it's hot. It won't be too late for me to buy it when I get there. Haha, my good daughter, wait for me. Pass the phone to Tang Jiu. I'll ask her how to get there. Okay. Guoguo directly passed the phone to Tang Jiu. My dad is asking for your directions. Tang Jiu picked up the phone and told Su Yun the address. Then, she urged him to hurry up. She didn't know if it was because she didn't want to spoil her mood, but she didn't ask Su Yun what he had gotten from Dr. And Su Yun hung up the phone and went straight to Jibei City's famous night market. It had been a long time since he last ate street food. Thinking about it, he missed it. Su Yun couldn't help but speed up. The dishes that Auntie Shay made that night were too exquisite. He didn't have enough to eat. In less than half an hour, Su Yun arrived at the scene. The night market was crowded with people. Su Yun spent a lot of effort to find Guoguo and the other two. Tang Jiu still didn't ask anything. She just took them to buy all kinds of delicious food. The four of them ate along the way. Guoguo's little belly was full before she gave up. Tang Jiu hadn't been so happy in a long time. She didn't ask Su Yun about the results because she felt that if she knew the results, her last bit of good mood would vanish. As for what Su Yun's results were, it wouldn't be too late to wait until she got home and heard it with her father. You're tuning in to the Narrate and Escape YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.